Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. It is Thursday, March 19th. North American stock futures all back in negative territory once again this morning, erasing an early gain that followed an ECB announcement of more than 750 billion euros coming as an aid package to the European region in response to the coronavirus outbreak. It's been a very volatile session once again for U.S. stock futures in particular overnight. Lots to get to this morning. For the first time, some positive news in relation to the coronavirus. China, and more specifically the Wuhan province, reporting no new cases of the coronavirus overnight. So that's a first. Overall, the Dow down more than 1,300 points yesterday, closing below the 20,000 mark for the first time since 2017. Despite a huge run-up into the close that we saw right across most markets yesterday. In the last 20 minutes or so, we saw big buying coming into the close. We are moving back to the upside as far as North American futures are concerned right now. Hotel stocks moving to the downside once again this morning. The travel industry as a whole continues to be the hardest hit group. We have Hilton, Marriott, Wynn all down more than 5% this morning. We'll get to those names. On the data front, some interesting data out at 8:30 this morning. Weekly jobless claims coming in a lot higher than expected. First time the numbers showing some of the job losses from companies temporarily laying off employees. 281,000 last week in the U.S. versus 220 expectation. That was the largest week-over-week jump since 2017. We also had the Philly Fed number out at 8:30, very negative as well, negative 12.7. Versus 10 expectations. Guys, we're kind of clawing back to the upside here. Good morning, first of all. Going to be another very interesting day, very volatile overnight session.
Yeah, but no limit up, no limit down. Finally, you get one of these days where it actually feels a little bit normal. I hate to say that, but that's certainly a little bit of the feeling here in the futures. As usual, it's expected to be a wild market. Just to update you guys, of course, we have a bit of a skeleton crew on the floor, usually full behind us. You'll see a few bodies in here or there. I'm going to immediately jump in. I know we're going to probably talk about this one, WTRH, in play food delivery service. A massive order. I was just telling some people on the chat there. A massive order at the top on this one. So I did already work into a short on this one in front of 350. A couple of times it's already given a few drops down to 320, giving you about a 5-10% move here. So we've already taken some profits on this one. I just loaded back up at 40s. So we're going to continue to short this one, pulling back in up 65% on the day. Looks like it could be a good one there, Sean.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at it yet, and that's the thing. Blue Apron, we talked about how crazy those things are going. There's another one, iFresh or something like that. So we'll see, guys. Look, I mean, this is at home cooking, food delivery services. Obviously, they're going to be super popular now. And I heard a story. My wife was telling me that one of her friends got one of those deliveries and then Lysol'd all the food and everything in there. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But who knows? This is the world that we're living in right now. I don't know if Lysol keeps your food fresh or it
I don't even know what to say to that.
Said chicken breast? I am not sure. But anyways, this is the world. I see some very impressive numbers. We'll go over those a couple times today. Yeah, that's not a bad day, I think, for one trader there on the Amex.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if you pull 340 grand out of one market, that's probably going to be a good day for you. I will scroll down, because usually I will just show each market the top trader, and you'll see, Chicago CME, there's 70,000 in the futures. London, 42, so continued big numbers out of Europe. NASDAQ, 36. 34,000 out of Canada, and New York 31. But if we scroll down and give you a look at just the top 10 traders overall, 340,000, 281,000, 268,000, 246,000, and Amex leading the way for a lot of these. And of course, those ETFs have been moving around. GDX has been very, very volatile, relatively speaking. Lots of profits to be made in these markets.
Yeah, and it's going to continue. And of course, a lot of these moves are happening near the end of the day when people are putting in market on close orders, market on open orders for the open. And we can see here today, there's not too much action on the New York side of things here for market on open. VVR, KMI, Kinder Morgan, GE, we saw yesterday down to $6.
Of course,
Bank
Blue
of America, we traded that a little bit yesterday as well. That's coming to the sell side. And there's our favorite Blue Apron, and if we look at Blue Apron here, I
for the
know we'll
love
talk
of-
about that in a second. I guess it's on the NYSE. This stock was basically dead for a long time, and now you're going to see what's happening. $21 here, guys, up 32% again today. Check the chart here, and I know we were going to get to this, Brendan, but it was $2 at the beginning of the week. And today it's $21. So people want to talk about the craze that Bitcoin was. Every single day in the market, there tends to be another craze. $2 to $21, Neil. I mean, what else do you want? You drop a little 10K in there, and you never work a day in your life.
You better believe it. You're laughing. And look, the crazy thing is it's still going. Like, it gaps up again today, right? It's just relentless action, parabolic to the upside. But there's lots of names to get to.
Yep.
And I know Brendan is chomping at the bit to get some of those for us.
Yeah, day 3 for a lot of those names, guys. We'll get to that in a second. Let's jump into some markets here first, and we'll see how things are shaping up as a whole. On a broader note, let's go over to the APAC region first. You'll see some big-time negative numbers once again. Right across the board, you can see Australia leading things to the downside, 7%. Korea, they banned short selling in Korea, so 8% to the downside there. 1% for Japan, the rest, big time negativity. If we go over to Europe, you're going to see a mixed story for European markets here. Still a little bit of negativity, but some of these markets coming back to the upside here with North American stock futures for the first time. So nice to see Italy back in positive territory there. England still leading things to the downside. The big news in Europe, obviously the ECB announcing the aid package we mentioned, $750 billion coming for the region. Let's go over to North America and see how things are shaping up here. About 25 minutes to go to the open. Still in the red, but definitely off the lows. 1.4% for the S&P. The NASDAQ leading. That's good to see. 0.6% only in negative territory. The TSX still looking for a red open here. Going to have Laura Hanschke from the TMX Group joining us in a few minutes here to talk about how things have been shaping up overall over this very volatile session. I see Laura has brought along a special assistant today as well, which is fantastic. Good morning, Laura. Joining us from home, obviously. Great to see you and speak to you. I mean, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. How have things been for the TMX?
Crazy is the best way to describe it. And yeah, sorry, this is the new work from home, my assistant.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been very crazy, very volatile. Nice graphic. But we're actually seeing record volumes on all of our venues. In the past couple of weeks, it's been really impressive about the amount of volume that's being traded. We hit a record high volume on TSX March 12th, 1.7 billion shares traded.
Wow.
So, yeah, lots going on.
Yeah, great to hear, obviously. I mean, the volatility as a whole here to stay, I guess, for the foreseeable future. Has there been specific areas in the market that have kind of stood out over others in regards to the actual increase in volume?
Do you mean symbol-wise or?
Yeah, sector-wise or individual names even?
Sector-wise, I'd say actually a lot of the ETFs, a lot of the energy, oil and gas for sure, has seen a lot of that as well.
In the volatility, how have the dark markets been performing versus lit markets? A lot of volume going towards the dark, or are we seeing more activity on the lit venues?
Actually, dark, we saw record highs in that as well in the past couple of weeks. We reached a record market share of 3.4% last week, and then a record volume of 49.2 million shares traded as well. So a lot of people are going to the dark still.
Yeah, obviously, the volume increase in correlation with the volatility. We've seen a lot of energy stocks under pressure. Obviously, a lot of energy stocks, or the TSX as a whole, very energy heavy. Is there, any kind of bounce that we're seeing on some of those names, even over the past couple of days, that are showing support?
Yeah, there have been a couple. Not exactly sure if energy is doing quite well in the past couple days. We definitely have seen a bounce in most of them. I'm not sure exactly any specific stocks or symbols right now. VIS is a big one. Actually, I was just looking at the numbers. It was trading really well yesterday. And HOU as well. got a big bounce back yesterday.
Right, we were talking about that a little bit on the show. Obviously, the sector-related ETFs, the index-related ETFs, going to be of interest. Everybody loves to talk about the cannabis space. Any increase in volumes or any outside of the normal activity, I guess, in the cannabis space over the past week or so?
It's been down, but still a lot of trading being done. Not as positive as oil and gas or energy, but yeah.
Great stuff. Laura Hansky from the TMX group, we appreciate your time, obviously. Work from home, all the best. Obviously, stay healthy. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Stay healthy as well, guys.
There you go, guys. TMX Group, Laura Hansky talking a little bit about some of the names that have been in focus over this crazy time. Obviously, the TSX in Toronto here, seeing some of the increased volatility that we've had on all the other global markets as well. So good to get a little bit of a perspective there as to what has been in focus. Let's go over to some individual names moving around in the pre-market. You guys touched on a couple of them already. These food delivery service names, I mean, this WTRH, this is day 3 for this thing to the upside. I mean, another 65% on the day for WTRH. It's actually setting up, to looking a little bit stronger than the rest at this point.
Yeah, it's making a bit of a base here. I was really working that short in front of the 350, but you look at how well it's holding. You can't get past this 320 mark. That'll still be up about 65% at that price on the session. And, you talked about the daily. If you just sort of condense it to the last few sessions here, look at that parabolic move from 60 cents, right? You're talking about 6x to the upside. You got to watch for that top end break. I will mention, though, there was a tremendous amount of selling when I was looking at the level 2 in the pre-market. When this tested that 355, there was multiple orders with tens of thousands of shares, actually close to 100,000 up there, that got taken out and still held the level. So there's a lot of people selling at that price. The floodgates could really open up if it's unable to hold that break through the top. Right now it's 358. There was layered orders all the way from 350 to 360.
Shout out to Himanshu asking where we're going to go today, what kind of stocks we're looking at. This is what this segment's all about.
Yep.
So we are going to go over a few names. There's another one here, IFMK. I can't act like I've ever traded this before. iFresh. Right here, 260 has been the top today. Just another 55%. And this is one of those runners that we've talked about. We talked about Blue Apron. This name did have legs before, so I mean, it's been up here before, so I don't think there's any surprise. But look at this, down to 40 cents, basically left for dead off their last earnings report, down to 40 cents. Now today we wake up at a 224 level. Does it take out this 260 top? I'm not sure, but that's a level that we will look at today, 260 to the top, and I guess an even $2 to the bottom. So again, depending on your risk tolerance, you take 500 shares or something like that on a 260 break, you can give it down to $2 and you're going to only lose 300 there. So I think a 60-cent window there is probably pretty fair. So guide accordingly. But this is iFresh Inc. 58% mover, and why not, Brendan?
Yeah, going to be an interesting group. Neil, you mentioned, it's kind of feeling more normal this morning as a whole, as far as the futures go. The first morning I've come in the past week or so, and as far as individual names moving in the pre-market, that list also looking a little bit more normal this morning, which is good to see as well. There was a little bit of earnings. We'll go to the housing group here, Lennar Corporation, reporting Q1 earnings that beat both on the top and bottom lines. However, they suspended their forecast for 2020. So another one of these pulling their forecast. We had the housing data out earlier this week, guys. That was obviously a little bit worse than expected, but Lennar here, not a lot of volume, but I mean, worth mentioning. The earnings were good, but pulling the forecast.
I don't think that's going to surprise anybody. You can see how badly beaten up this thing has been. The story's from 72 down to yesterday below $26. Even a bit of a rebound to be flat on the session today. The volume is so light on this name, only 28,000 pre-market. I think there's going to be a lot of places we can look to. I don't know if this is where you can bottom pick here. I think there's some names with some better prices that we can look at, especially in the tech space.
I don't really know why housing is this beat up. I mean, obviously the economy is going to be a problem, so people thinking less less liquidity out there as far as cash in people's hands. So Lennar is going to be affected, and I like it. We like there's a few different DH Horton as well.
Yeah, DH.
Another name to look at. But I have up the futures right now, and we've bounced quite nicely here. When we came in about 7:30 here today. Well, I guess it was 8:30 Chicago time. 23.26 the bottom here, nice little move down, and since then, it's 50 handles almost straight up. We did have a little bit of a pullback here, and this pullback was approximately 10 handles, and what we mean by a handle is a full move. So when you go from, like right now we're at 23.76, if that goes to 23.78, that would be 2 handles. So inside a handle is 4 ticks, it's just the quarters, so very similar to how a dollar works with a quarter.
Yep.
So there you go, so that's a tick, and we're up here. Look where we're bouncing right now, 378, 380. That was a high we got a couple hours ago. Let's see if we can't take that out. If we do, this is why I'm saying, guys, I think that there's a possible, look, we're still down 1%. So the market is going to open up down. But I do think that there's a chance. We've had a couple 2,000 point down days. Not to think that we're going to go up 2,000, but hey, if an up day is followed from a down day, then we could go up, and it could be quite big today.
Especially if we get a rebound in oil continuing from that
we are
bottom
a little
yesterday.
bit up 9% right now on oil. 22.27. It did close around $20.50. So we did talk about that. I said on the show yesterday, oil is going to be a big problem. We traded XOM a little bit afterwards in the afternoon. That was pretty successful as that just kept tanking. We'll look at XOM today as well, Brendan.
Yeah, another thing that had a big move up into the close yesterday, obviously with the overall market as well. So we'll check out some of those energy names, guys. Another earnings name here, Olive Garden's parents, Darden Restaurants, reporting earnings that came in basically in line with estimates. The per share was kind of down. Revenue was a little bit up, so basically in line. But another one here, guys. Not a lot of people going to restaurants for the next little while, foreseeable future anyways. But DRI, to the downside. Overall, it looks like we actually have gone positive once again. When I looked at it last, was in negative territory, but back to the upside. Another one, not a lot of volume here this morning, but now 2.5% to the upside.
Yeah, this one you got to watch out for. $30 name. It's going to be very volatile. It had a huge drop off going into the afternoon session yesterday, and then basically came all the way back off of 36 even. So you close a couple of dollars lower than that, and it basically does half that move again in the pre-market. This time on light volume. So watch out for this 36 level. Obviously, this is where the whole party started to the south side, at least the last couple of days, and this is where it's terminating right now, despite what was a $6 bounce on light volume. The spread on this was literally $2 when I was looking at it a couple of minutes ago. Right now it's sitting at about 50 cents. It's going to be a wild one, not the type of name that I would jump into, at least until the New York book opens up. And, certainly probably wait at least a few minutes before you get involved in this. Even if it wants to take out that 36, I wouldn't want it to whip past and then slam back down on very, very light volume. You get triggered into something that you don't want, and then it's against you a couple of bucks immediately. So for Darden, I'd probably wait a few minutes to get in, but key that 36 level.
Yeah. Look at the daily chart here, guys. I mean, you talked about not many people going to restaurants. They're not allowed
at all.
Restaurants are completely closed. So when you're a company that has zero revenues in North America anyways, you are going to have a little bit of a problem. And I know, I'm not sure how big Darden is in Europe or not, but look at this, guys. It was cruising. I mean, we were along this top here, 105 to 120, 130 or so. And then all of a sudden, man, February 26th happened. And it was $120, Neil, down to $25 yesterday. You talked about what happened at the close. And then now you're back up here. So this is like a disaster story, and I think that's going to continue to be the case as we look at more and more restaurants. McDonald's is just another name. Starbucks with that monster buyback they had the other day, and SBU, let's just call up Starbucks quickly here for you guys. That's another name that I think we should trade. And if you're going to look at something longer term, and even as a day trade, look at Starbucks. They already have 72,000 shares, so already more than Darden, and they're reopening stores in China right now.
Yeah, there's a little more positivity.
And this is an actual, a big time. Talk to Valeria about Starbucks. It looked like she wanted to jump off a bridge today when she didn't have her Starbucks. But Starbucks, a lot of demand built up for this stock.
Don't do that,
there's Valeria. Turn around, Valeria. Where's your Starbucks?
That's cold.
Closed. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, sad face there. Yeah, I know. sorry to bring it up, but yeah, Starbucks. We love Starbucks here on the show. It's a great stock to trade, and sorry for pushing your buttons there, Valeria.
All right, guys, we'll continue on this trade. Yeah, there you go, Valeria. Not having a good day without her Starbucks, but we'll fix that. Travel and leisure stocks as a whole, obviously going to be the hardest hit through this period. Marriott International was among the lead decliners. Just had a look at the chart, though, coming back to the upside as well. They were leading this group to the downside in the pre-market. As far as the hotels go, they announced they've withdrawn their full year 2020 forecast. A lot of the other ones probably to follow suit. You can see we're all the way down to 55 here at one point on Marriott. Look at this move back higher, guys. We're above 61 now, basically back to where we were before the close yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing a few gaps like that, and maybe it's a positive thing overall for the market that we're not just teetering on bottoms and threatening halts. So you are getting an across-the-board gap, even in the weaker names like a Marriott. Certainly, of course, what might transpire for a lot of these companies is what's going to happen when it comes to relief. How are they going to be affected directly in the travel space? What kind of extra aid are they going to end up getting to see how they can come out of this? Because, to predict how long these effects are going to happen economically, for whether you're talking about the casino industry or the hotel industry, the travel industry, the airlines, it's very difficult to do. So there's a ton of uncertainty. It's hard to be long at all in a lot of these names. But when the market starts to come down, these are just some fantastic shorting opportunities, and you can see these massive gaps. Even off the open yesterday, this stock basically went a $10 move before you could blink an eye, and it's going to do that a heck of a lot faster usually to the downside. So sort of looking at the $60 area right now, if that gets taken out off the open, that could be an interesting play. But again, we're sort of looking like we're going to open up strong, so that might not happen.
Yeah, I'm hearing some talk here for Dax and James about taking cash out. I don't think there's really any limits or anything right now here in Canada, but
I've heard a few. There were some things in the States, but
I mean, I'm not sure. I know a lot of stores around here aren't even accepting cash anymore. So unless you really are sort of in a bank that you feel might become insolvent or something. I don't know if there's a run on cash yet, but that might be a prudent move if you wanted to get some of the greenbacks there in your pocket rather than in a bank. But I know JP Morgan came out yesterday and said they're closing about 20% of their branches, of course, but that's kind of something that they should be doing anyways, because most of their employees and tellers are not going to be there. So you are always going to have the ATMs and whatnot. And again, I see that James is in Northern Ireland, so I'm not familiar with that banking system, but if it's similar to North America, I haven't heard anything, and if you guys have, put it in the chat. But I think pretty much the cash situation is fine. If not, El Presidente will just print some more, so don't worry about that.
I want to get to some of the virus names moving around in the pre-market this morning, but first let's talk about Alibaba here. Alibaba announcing overnight new initiatives to increase capacity as far as their cloud services are concerned for more and more companies who are working remotely and have employees that are working remotely to provide easier access to continue operations really as a whole. I think, as a whole today, this is kind of setting up as one of those days where you want to see what goes green first. If we open slightly lower, which are the stocks that kind of go green or positive first? And Alibaba here, guys, setting up to possibly be one of those.
Literally exactly at yesterday's close, 180, and then you can go to the daily chart and see, definitely heavy interest around this area. There was a pivot back there in late October, of 2019 of last year. And so for me, you talk about which is going to go green first. If it's going to be a strong day, I think this is something you can dig your teeth into a little bit. The volume's going to be there. You're not necessarily as worried getting into this one a little bit early on a quick little break. So if we're going to make any kind of move to the upside, Alibaba through 180. Makes sense to me. It's a couple of dollars, about $1.50 below that right now. It's reasonable range so far in the pre-market. You can see the consolidation here at the close. And then after that, the high in the afternoon yesterday was 182.50. So on a scalp trade, you got to figure you got maybe a couple of dollars to work into that price from yesterday afternoon, or morning, sorry.
Yep, I love the 180 level. I also like Cisco up here as well. I know some of you guys talking for that. It's at $37. And again, the play is sort of just that people need to set up their home networking and their office networking. Cisco, obviously a huge participant in any of that. And we got a little bit of a drop yesterday to 35 and change, but it wasn't as dramatic as many stocks before retracing all the way back up. Cisco following the market down in a cool 1% here. So we'll see about Cisco. And look, it's held up relatively strong compared to some of those other stocks we're talking about. I mean, 44 down to 37 today isn't a horrible drop for Cisco. So I do like that name to the long side. And of course, everybody's favorite, Microsoft. Obviously going to be a long one today through, well, it's already through 140, but 140-ish as a spot, Brendan.
Sean, the other thing with Cisco too that's kind of interesting, they have that web conferencing product too that's getting some focus with people working remotely, kind of like Zoom Media that we've been discussing as well. Let's talk about BNTX here. This is the company that teamed up with Pfizer to work on a vaccine for the virus. Huge move to the downside yesterday, like just monster from 95 all the way down to $68. On the day yesterday. We're opening back above $78 this morning. So decent bounce off of the lows yesterday afternoon. But watch some of these support levels from yesterday afternoon. 84, 86 came into play as well. BNTX, guys, could be another one that's moving around like crazy today.
Yeah, volatility in those names is a little bit intense, and certainly, you talk about those levels specifically speaking, you're looking at basically about $84. It's trading at 80, but was as low as 74. So it's already made a $6 move in the pre-market here, down 13%, gapping down. So watch out for that 84 level. Could be an interesting one to fade or break out there. We talked about some of the tech names. I'll give you another one just looking here at where Intel is actually sitting, and it's teetering sort of back and forth on green for the session here, closing at 47.61, and it's basically been positive most of the pre-market and then holding those levels. So in the event that we're going to be green on the day, be careful there, Rob, one of our guys in the back there. Do not fall out of your chair. You must really, really love Intel getting excited about it. But no, in front of this 47.50, certainly the top here, 48.50, you already put a dollar range in just the last few minutes on light volume. This could be one if the market gets going, whether it's right here, 47.50, maybe you catch a break at 48 even on the way up if we can get any kind of sustained move to the upside. We've seen typically some decent moves in the first couple of minutes, so you want to be positioned ready to go.
Yeah, and we're getting our stop orders in soon. There's only 3 minutes to go to the bell. I think Valeria will be ringing the bell possibly today, but right now we'll throw over to her for a quick update. What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, yes, I'll be on the bell today, so wait for that. And we are streaming at YouTube, at Twitch, at Periscope, and Facebook, 4 platforms. So guys, where are you watching us from? Hit the likes, subscribe, share, let everyone to know about our show. I'll see you later. Back to the traders.
Thank you very much, Valeria.
Yes.
Any interesting things that you guys have that you want to be talking about, that you want us to be looking at, or that you are looking at, make sure you throw that in the chat. We're going to be here. We're going to be covering as much of the market as we can in our individual trades. Got about a couple of minutes to the open. We've given you a few names here, a couple that we haven't talked about that I know have been in play. Everyone's been interested in what's been going on with Boeing, of course. And as you can see, it down again 3.5%. It's still below that $100 mark. I mean, yesterday, if you were following along that bloodbath, getting down to 90, some of those short opportunities were absolutely fantastic. It's trying to come back, but the real story for Boeing right now is going to be, can they get that $60 billion they're looking for? As I just got triggered in on a stop that I did not want, so I'm going to get out of it on WTRH. Does not break the top, but triggered me in. So it must have been like a dark print or something, so we'll pay some spread to get out of that one. But again, are they going to get that money in Boeing? That's going to be the key. It's going to be heavily reliant on that news coming through. Otherwise, it's going to probably remain one of the weaker names in a relative basis. Down 3.5% when we're creeping towards only being down 1 on the ES, and on the NQ we're only down 0.5%. So positive on the NASDAQ is very, very close here, and that could actually cause a jump off in a few names.
Yeah, Baba just got.
Oh, that just triggered, yeah.
Yeah, that just triggered, and I didn't get any shares, so I'll cancel that and wait to see if we get some going forward here. 180 just broke. My order only went up to 180.25. Didn't get filled, so
I got a partial at 15. It's like a grubby, tiny little partial that I got here at 180.15. So whatever, that did fill. We had about 40 seconds to go till the open. Maybe we'll get a pullback. It just went $1, but there's no volume right now. So
right.
We do have about 35 seconds
now, Alibaba.
Yeah, 181. I mean, if you get everything there, obviously a little bit of a break. We just talked about that name and liking it.
Here,
I'd watch out for a couple of other ones too, because we talked about a few ones to the upside, whether it's Cisco, whether it's Intel, certainly some buying opportunities. On the bell today, I do see Valeria in position getting ready, so we are getting locked and loaded.
I just got long Baba here, guys.
To ring that bell, and here comes the market open. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Here we go.
6. I just got my Baba as well there.
I got Baba again, 179.50. We're going to be long this one. Hit that bell, Valeria.
There
and now
we
we
go.
are open. So we are long Alibaba right now. 179.85 is our first trade here on Mr. Baba. So let's wait to see here. We still have Cisco going. We're looking at that one. We talked about that. That iFresh is coming off right now. And Alibaba not open yet. So we're going to wait to see what does happen there. But Tesla, Apple, looking at some other stocks here.
Yeah,
Microsoft through 140.
Quickly looking at that stupid WTRH, which that ridiculous stop order that we got is going to bug me here, because it gets a stop, I get out flat, and now it looks like it wants to test the bottom again. So we'll take a short, and if it breaks the top, we'll be all over that one. Did get that Alibaba as well.
Yep,
not triggered into Intel, have a 47.50 on that one, as the market basically holding around flat for the time being.
Yeah, I really, really want this Alibaba. It's going to open up. It's going to be huge, I think. We're long 179.85 right now. Not open yet is Alibaba. So we'll just see what it does when it finally does open up here. And you got to wait sometimes for New York stocks to get going.
Yep.
So that's part of it. Crude ripping up as well, guys.
Yeah, big move in crude oil there.
XOM
You're watching XOM again. A lot of New York names have not opened up, but already moving towards the upside is XOM here, guys. The top in the pre-market was 34. Could be a 34 area, but the market's coming down. But WTR just took out the top. I just reversed to the long side on that break, 365. So this one's gone. I'm now long 365. We talked about that level. We've now taken it. Let's see if there's a further run in this name.
Yep, and a lot of stocks just not open right now on the New York Stock Exchange. So we are going to have to wait for some of those. Let's go over to Tesla, the electric car maker, and see what that's doing. That was bouncing off 350. Holy shit. I wanted to go long 350 here, but it was the pre-market, and now it's at 370. So Tesla, a lot of these stocks now to the moon here, up 2%. Like I said, today I thought could be a big day. The market not agreeing though. The market heading southbound right now.
Yeah.
Alibaba finally just opened up there. Yes, it
Gotta
did. So
watch
Alibaba
out for that
right
178.
Now, I'm long 179.80. So that could.
But whoa, here goes WTRH heading towards $4. We reversed long 65, added at 70. If we can get it up to $4, nice little win there. We did make some coin to the short side earlier, but now it's coming right back to the upside here. Just got to watch out for that Baba because this one opening now 178.60 as you mentioned, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. I still like it, so I'm going to buy some more here if I can and see if we can't run this. I missed it. Damn it. We tried to buy some more down here, 178. We just get hit there, 178.20, 179.07. Sorry. So now we are long 179.65 here. Dug into some Alibaba. Let's see if we can get above 180. Look at these futures, though, Neil.
Look at the airlines. It absolutely getting crushed. American Airlines from top to bottom just won $1 instantly off of this little open here. I mean, it's crazy moving. We're back down to 7,100. I don't know that I like these longs myself. I mean, Baba's holding up pretty well at 179 for the time being, but look at some of these names getting crushed. AAL just getting smoked. I wanted this one if it gave me a short, but I told you I would wait a little bit because I wanted to see it open up and settle. Yeah, forget about that. The only story for me to the long side is I talked about $4. We're going to get $4 here, slapshot action on WTRH. I hope you're following along. When that level broke, we talked about the 350, 360 seller. Bye-bye to the upside. We're long 370. It's about to break 4 even as we're taking profits all the way to the upside. Made money short. Now we make money long in WTRH. Good name there.
Yeah, great name. Good trading here. I'm still focusing on Alibaba, and it doesn't want to go here. So if it does break back down below 178, we'll get out. But other than that, we are dug in here, and I like it. So let's just wait to see what does happen.
It's worth noting you got this one. You got that 178 level, and I like those sort of pre-market higher lows that they put in, and that's sort of all I'm working from. And again, it's nothing too sexy about it. But the market just slid off on the NQ about 100 handles or so, and Baba held the bottom. So it is what it is.
Let's go.
But I'll tell you what held
We're back
things.
in the money on
This
Alibaba.
is what I'm talking about. WTRH, another leg to the upside. It just got as high as 440, but before slamming back. So I feel like I got to take some profits off. We'll take some more out at 412. We loaded up there at 370. We're going to rip this one up. It's pulling back in. I'll have a stop here back at that 350, 355 area where the entire party started, but already a nice arrows up on WTRH. You make money on the short, but that base that we talked about there, Brendan, at 320, really bouncing off that nicely.
Brendan? Yeah, okay. 145.61 here. Looking for something here on Facebook. We'll see if that can go. I do like this little top here, 145.60. If we can break there, that's going to be a VWAP. We'll go long Facebook here off of that. I do think that this market can bounce. We did just track all the way back, guys. We're almost back to that 23, 26 level. Not too far before that comes through. Right now, the only position I have on is Alibaba. I'm looking to get into some Facebook, though, breaking through 145.70. We actually missed that order as well. So a lot of movement happening here. Missing some trades here, guys.
This is definitely one of those themes, and I know we've talked about this. If you've been following along the show, in this volatility, you have to expect that there are going to be times that you have to cross a little bit deeper with your stop orders or conditional orders to get shares and get liquidity. I'm looking at XOM fall off here. So it tested that 34, and now it's really starting to come back in. So XOM down almost a full $1 there off of the open.
Yeah, some of these stocks just tanking. Okay, so we do get our 145.70 now on Facebook. You can see dug in there, dug in a little bit up here. This is 5 times the trade down here. So we're going to wait to see what this wants to do. We are pushing new lows here. Watch out for the futures. Brendan, what you got, bud?
Early halt, guys, on BURG. This is another one, Chanticleer Holdings, to add to that home food delivery service group. BURG 94% here, just halted above 135 on a volatility halt, guys.
All right, yeah.
All right, got to add
BURG
with the airlines still getting absolutely crushed. I'm going to add that one to my list, but we're just looking at AAL trying to take out the pre-market bottom, and I can tell you here, we're now down 11%, and we've just taken it out. $10 is very rapidly approaching here on American. You look at the daily. This was the bottom yesterday at 10.13, and it doesn't take long. We're 5 minutes into the session. We're already testing it. SSR, short sale restricted. That means I can't aggressively hit the bid. I have to wait for an uptick, someone buying from this offer on the level 2. I need someone to buy from any of these sellers, and they get a green tick for me to be able to go short here. But here comes the bottom.
Yeah, come on, Baba.
Oh, Baba's up. Thank you.
Alibaba. Let's see if we can't get Alibaba going.
Yes.
So we'll explode some money here. Bye-bye, Baba.
Strength, baby.
Here we go. You hold that stock,
Relative strength.
and now you get paid off. So Alibaba right now 179.50.
Oh,
we're long. We just take that out for 50 cents. We're going to wait to see if we can't get more here. Come on, Alibaba. I'm waiting at 180.40 right now to see if we can't get that out. Right now we're 2 for 2. We're long Facebook at 145.70. That's kind of flat. And in the money now, 65 cents plus on Alibaba. We told you about that. You wanted the trades. There it is. Big
there
winner
we go.
here.
See if we can't get
a dollar.
There you go. That's what we're talking about. $1 on Baba. Sean Cisco just broke back to 37, so going to trigger into that one. We love this one as well. You see the futures basing out a little bit, and I want to keep you guys abreast of what's going on in the broad market here. You look at the NQ, basically holding the pre-market low on that little dip and dipping back to 7,100 there. So moving back to the upside, a couple of these stronger names looking pretty solid so far. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Just watching a bounce here, guys, underway in Boeing. Came all the way down to 90 at the open there, right where we stopped yesterday in the afternoon. Bouncing pretty hard here all the way back to 94. Also, have a look at Chewy. Just took the top off on Chewy there, $33. Another one very, very strong over the past couple of days, guys.
Yeah, glad I own that one. So that's a good one here. Okay, Alibaba to the top side here. Great little trade happening, obviously, on Alibaba. We are $1 plus now, $1.20 in the money on Alibaba. We're getting some out here. If we can get some out in the 70s, that'd be great. Our average price, $179.40. So if you're following me there, you're welcome. There's another gift for you. I give you dollar trades every day. There's another one right there on Alibaba. We didn't even have to really hold that one against ourselves too much. Here we go. Let's wait to see. If the market doesn't go, though, I mean, none of these longs will
there's
come
nothing
in.
you can do about it.
Right now, we'll just wait. I think it's a good idea.
Pullback fails there on WTH for the time being. It's back to that $4 mark. Looks like it wants to retest it. We still have 370s long. Of course, you can see here we took a lot of profit out on the way up. Our best out being 413. But at some point, if this is going to ultimately not test that high, we're going to have to take this out. I'm looking at that 413 level that we got up before. That's going to be one target. If we don't break it, I'll probably slide back out at $4.
Holy Alibaba.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, I said a dollar winner. There's a $1.40 winner for you right there. Yeah, my Cisco, I didn't trigger in yet because I was waiting for high side.
Cisco hasn't taken the top yet, so ultimately you still have an opportunity to get this one before it breaks the top. I got 37.03 to the long side, so I will take some profit off because I want to be able to add on a pullback. I want to be able to add if it breaks through that pre-market high at 37.45.
We got lots of winners on right now, guys. We got Gilead on. That's a 50-cent winner. 81.50. We punch long to Gilead. It rips up to 82 right now. That's a big-time winner. Facebook right now also running, guys. Our average price, 145.74. That's a 25-cent winner. You know, right now, so far, so good. If this market ever booms, though, I mean, the longs will come in. We are crushing
the
this
market's
right now.
not even on making a move to the upside here, but Cisco still takes a run at the top. Baba is still deep in the money right now, holding up very, very well. But Cisco, you know what? It couldn't take the top off there. I'm going to take a little more profit off. This is why you fade into this trade. You don't get the breakout, ultimately, so we still have a third, and we're taking all profits on this. I do want to jump to Boeing for a quick second here, guys, because Boeing just flushed off the open. That 90 from yesterday, we just saw that again. A little bit of a bounce, we call it a dead cat bounce, whatever you want to, off 90 even in Boeing. It gets back to 93. With the market falling off, I might dip myself into the short position in Boeing. I mean, the entire airline sector is getting crushed. Yeah,
exactly. And we are over here in the vaccine sector. That makes a lot of sense. Gilead, 81.50. Look at this out, Dax and Greg, James, whoever's watching this. Check this. Here, bang, bang. We still got 60% of this trade. That's a 50-cent winner, and that's a 70-cent winner. We're still holding on to long Gilead right now, 81.58. So that's nicely in the money. Our Alibaba, though, we got some out at 180.80 for a $1.80 winner. We're going to wait to see if we can't get some more out. But look at these futures, though, man. Crash, crash, crash. I cannot believe we're able to make so much money on the long, but it is what it is. We need this to regroup.
It's a little bit surprising, I'm not going to lie, but there goes Boeing. We just took 92.50 to the short side on a pullback. Look, ignore this wick. It stalled out here at 93.50 or so. We catch it on the way back down. I just tried to add to a position on 92 break. No chance. Couldn't even get any shares. We're already $1 in the money. We just gave this one to you. I had to interrupt there because we saw what was going on in the futures. We saw the entire sector get burned here. As it tests the low, I'll scalp some out in front of the bottom and see if we can't re-enter the position if it tests 90 even.
Yeah, 139.24. Maybe we'll put a little bid here on Microsoft, see if we can't get some shares there. But right now, Gilead 67. Look at this. Bang, bang, bang. What a trade on this one. We'll have to tweet this one out. Hopefully you guys have this with me. GILD is now, ho-hum, $1 in the money. So we're going to watch that one as that one continues to go higher and higher here. Kind of saving this my net right now because the market is coming back down. We don't have huge losers, though. This is a $1 winner on Gilead.
Futures took out the bottom there. So in the NASDAQ futures, 70.50. We continue to slide to the downside. We add to that position in Boeing. See if it makes a base here, this should be interesting for some of the longs. Cisco looks like it's trying to bounce as well. I was also looking at Intel. Microsoft. That's one that we definitely want to be a buyer of if it's going to move to the upside. If we bounce here, I like Intel.
Guys, I just gave you Microsoft. I told you 139.25. That's exactly where we get it. And there's 70 cents. What? This market is the greatest. We can't get these. I mean, look, you got to take your winners, but there's a quick 70 cents on Microsoft. Can we go $1? I take out 50% of it. What's up, Brendan?
Camera not ready, guys, but we'll go anyways here. BNTX, we mentioned this one right off the bat this morning. 82 to 84 was the area we were talking about. Turned on a dime. This thing already halted once. We're below 65, guys, on BNTX that teamed up with Pfizer, guys, for that vaccine.
Yeah, they did. Good job,
BNTX. Definitely worth a look there. Look, we'll talk about that one in just a bit, but I want to get to a little bit of Mr. Blue Apron. Look, this stock has been a little bit ridiculous, obviously. Another 14% to the upside, and look at this move. It tried to sell off today and then just took the top off again. Sorry, that's the wrong name. This is Blue Apron.
Stocks.
Halted to the upside, I mean. So again, it takes the top off. It's only been going up. There is no stopping this name. Boeing making a nice bounce back here, so we are going to take our first hit of the day. If we break 94 here, I'm going to be out of Boeing, so we'll have to go WTF on that one. We had a chance to take profit.
Guys, you want
we got
winners.
A little bit greedy.
Guys, you want winners, guys. Just keep following this. Watch this. Let's put up our board right now. We'll throw this up. Here we go. Alibaba, 50 cents in the money right here on this long. Facebook flat. Gilead, $1.70 winner right now. Microsoft, 99-cent winner right now. Everything ripping up. Gilead, $1.90. Microsoft, $1 now. Here we go. 4 longs, all in the money. Let's just rip this higher and higher, guys. Dax, I know you missed trading, buddy. You'll be back there soon. Do not worry.
Absolutely. Don't worry about the markets. They're not going anywhere. They are right here for you guys.
Gilead.
Baba back to that 179. That looks like it's going to be a good one, a re-entry opportunity. I'm also looking at Verizon trying to turn positive. That could be in about 50 cents or so, $1 or so. But Brendan, what do you have for us?
Guys, check out Uber. What a move here. 22% to the upside here. This thing was halted already at 17. Massive volume came in above 17. Ripped $1.10 when it resumed, guys.
Yeah, and by the way, I had an order out for 17.02.
Lyft is actually halted as well, so Lyft halted to the upside.
God. Look at what a day!
$1.70 move on Lyft.
Day.
Wow.
Hit the air horn, guys. We are huge in the money right now. You want softy? I told you. I gave you this winner earlier, guys. This is $2 in the money. Our Gilead, $2 in the money right now. Our Facebook, 60 cents in the money right now. Everything to the moon right now, guys. What a fantastic day. Hope you're enjoying the show. Do we take this Gilead out right now?
Cisco looking like it's going to try again on this name. It's been, it hasn't been as relatively strong. So I think, this is what I'm going to add into. I wanted to jump in and participate a little bit more into this move, which it's been avoiding so far. So, for me, Cisco at 37, we're going to jump into it. The first time was profitable. The second time, we'll see if we can take the top off. I want to be adding when it breaks the high of the day. But again, the futures here, we're down 3.5% on the ES. We're down on the NQ. The move actually hasn't been to the upside. That's because the airlines are continuing to be very, very weak. That $10 level from yesterday on American has held for the time being. I don't know that it will forever. So as long as we're getting dragged down, you're going to see me probably take some scalps and profits here on Cisco continuously. But if we can break up, that would be an interesting move here in these airlines. Like $1.50 move right off the bat to the downside, sliding down. We're trying to base here in the market.
Yeah, guys, you want to talk about winners here. Look at this Facebook trade, 145.70. It's at 147.03. We just took some out. That's $1.32 in the money. This is $3 in the money, GILD. This Microsoft is $2 in the money. Our poor little Cisco is flat, so we're going to wait for that one. And our Alibaba did fall back down to that 179, so the only losing trade we have on right now.
Alibaba giving reload opportunity for me. You talked about that 178. We already took all of our profits on the run to 181, so why not jump back in if we're basing in the market? I'm all over Alibaba. Here comes Cisco through the top, so all I got on right now is Baba and Cisco to the long side. We got 179.20 on Alibaba. We're long at 37 even on Cisco. That's now starting to work finally towards that high.
I might just leave all of these on, guys. Let's put my positions on here. You'll be able to see what we have, and this is what we're trading. I gave these all to you before I even took these. Look at this. $2 in the money on Facebook, $3.50 in the money on Gilead, $2.50 in the money on Microsoft. Cisco finally back to flat right now. Now 10 cents in the money. And Alibaba 25 cents. This has been a fantastic day, but the best morning for me so far by far here as we just continue to go. And this market has more upside here. $3 now on Facebook. Let's just keep going, guys.
Yeah, and let's see if we're finally opened up here. We talked about what just happened in Uber, and look at this level here, 18 even, trying to get chewed through. I mean, unbelievable run to the upside on Uber. Now, do you have the guts to fade this one? I'm probably not going to jump in out of nowhere when you see that big of a move here. We do have a couple of longs in, an opportunity to get back into more Cisco if we actually want that right now. Lyft is basically the same story, trying to take the top off as well. But I do believe we are ready for a good friend. Brendan, what do you got?
Guys, APDN, another one in the CODX kind of group. APDN announcing this morning they also have a testing kit for the corona vaccine. So $8 just got taken out. Big time volume coming in. Another one moving higher, guys.
All right, yeah.
APDN, absolutely. Another name in the tech space here.
I'm chilling right now.
Oh yeah, I'm basically chilling here. I'm looking at the Cisco. It just cannot get going. And this is one of the reasons why I continuously take profit out in front of that high of the day, because if it can't make a run, look at this range. Cisco doing basically nothing in a 40-50 cent range here. When we are getting movement, I mean, Alibaba's already given you big wins over $1 and then coming back in, allowing you to reload. So there's multiple opportunities, whereas Cisco just can't seem to get going. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah, $1 would be a small win so far today, but Alibaba, I take $1 right now. That's for damn sure. Right now, Gilead did bounce off that $4 winner. That's $3 right now, but Microsoft, we're out of everything, guys. We're very, very small now. Microsoft would have liked to have obviously held that for that full $3, but we will get some out if it comes back to 142-ish. I'm going to sit around there. Our Facebook, look at this out. We get some out right there as well. So, everything bumping to the top side right now on this market move up. We did cash out of most of our trades here. What a fantastic day. Alibaba though.
Alibaba just took 178, so we just took that one out, unfortunately. So not everything is continuing to the upside. Cisco is also moving back down as well. I just jumped to Codex here, making its first bounce.
Good time to reload.
Brendan mentioned this one, so back up through 11. It has been sliding down. I think maybe if there's consolidation here, it's been stepping all morning. You can use 1150 as a bit of a base here if you want to short it. All I have left on is Cisco at 37. Which I've basically been holding on to the entire time. It'll go down to 90, down to 80.
Yeah.
Doesn't really want to get going. I'll take profits off when it gets to 37.30 and basically rinsing and repeating that one the entire time. But I like Codex here. We'll see if it makes a run to 1150 and maybe jump into some shorts.
Here we go again. Microsoft coming up to that 142 level. I don't know if we're going to get out or not, but this stock ripping up. So right now we have three $2 winners. Facebook, $2.50 winner. Gilead, $2.50 winner. Microsoft, $2.44 winner. So 3 for 3 right now. The only one we need is Cisco. What's up, Brandon?
Just on that, Uber guys are teaming up with Chipotle to expand delivery service for Chipotle Mexican grill. Work here, Slack Technologies also having a nice day. $18 straight to 19 on that last bounce. A little thinly traded, but nice look for Work as well, guys.
Okay, great job there. We also have this IFMK just broke, Brendan. So this is that food store, that delivery service. We take a quick little 500 shares here, and we're just going to see what winds up happening here. It looks like it wants to resist a little bit here at 70, but we'll see if it wants to break through. Higher side now. IFMK, a quick little scalp in there, and now we'll wait to see how high this thing does want to go. IFMK for the win, hopefully. Let's go.
Retaking that 18 level is Uber here. You can see another run to the upside. We just took some on an 18 breakout, slid all the way to 1807. So, we talk about slippage and volatility. Uber, a stock usually cross 4 or 5 cents. You get it. Uber making a run to the top, 1807 long. We talked about the wall that was at 18 even. You grab the long position. We just took some out there at 39. It's now at 50. We'll see if we can get some more profit out there for about a 50-cent win on Uber. Arrow's up on this stock, and the market now back above on the NASDAQ anyways, that 7100 mark, and Uber continuing to show a tremendous amount of strength there through to 19 now it looks like, and Cisco just can't seem to get going. So in and out of Uber very, very quickly for a nice little breakout as the market coming back to the upside.
Guys, look at Facebook. We just take out there a $3 winner on Facebook right there. Just took that out right here. 149. We're holding very, very small. 10% of that left. Microsoft, $3.20 winner right now. So who's got that trade? This guy. Where is it? There he is. We've got that trade. That's a $3 winner. 2 $3 winners on right now. Gilead does fade back a little bit here. That's only a $1.50 winner, and our Cisco is chilling. But right now we'll wait. I'll probably drop that Cisco, see what the next shoe to drop is on that stock. But right now Gilead coming back down. I'm going to get out of the rest. I'm only holding 20% left. We'll get out if it breaks through 81.
Boeing running all the way up to that 97 mark, but a WTRH coming off heavily right now. Look at this thing tank. Wow. Early coffee. How did you know?
I still have some in there, actually.
Mine was empty, and I didn't even say anything. We'll go cheers very, very quickly.
She's pissed about Starbucks still, that's why.
Understandable. Hey, you love something, you want to have it there for you. It's part of, everyone has a routine. Traders definitely have routines. You know that. So certainly you disrupt that. Not a good thing. Just having a quick look at WTRH. Just came off 10% again. I want to look at that level. The original break was at 350. If it gets down there in bases, we'll probably jump back into the long. BABA looking like it's holding back again at that 178. So I might jump back into that trade as well.
Yeah, right now, I don't know. I mean, we have multiple dollar winners on right now, $3, $4, $5. This IFMK, we're waiting to see. There's a wall here at 270, so we'll probably start to drop some of these shares off here. Don't need to support this as a loser. It's going to come right back down, 239 or so we'll get out. But IFMK breaks that top and then kind of goes to sleep a little bit for us here. But Facebook, still that dollar winner. Microsoft, we're still holding out. I think there's going to be a much bigger move to come today, so we're holding out on some of these names as Cisco Cisco, a little bit of a problem here.
Cisco's
that was our
disappointing.
one idea that didn't work, unfortunately, for
Yeah,
everybody.
and just having a quick look at WTH looking like it wants to make a bit of a base and a bounce. So on the way back up, we'll see if we can grab some shares here. You can just see it bouncing off that 360 that we just mentioned. So we grab a long here at 82. Brennan, what do you got for us?
Guys, another one in that food delivery service, Rave Restaurants here on the NASDAQ, 88%. It's a pizza operation franchise, but they also do in-home delivery. So this thing's up huge from 110 to 175. This thing barely trades any other day, but relative volume through the roof today, guys.
Oh, man.
A name that we literally have not talked about, just want to note here, making a bit of a run to the upside, and you're probably going to be a little bit interested if we do get there. Of course, that $400 mark on Tesla. Nice little bounce here, $30. We just went bottom to top here, so Tesla marching towards 400 even. We'll keep an eye on that one. We did grab the long WTRH basing off of that 360. I'll actually give it probably only to about 365, which was a key level there. BOBA we did not get back into, not sure why. Yeah, looks. I tried to get in there at 179. Looks like we did not get triggered on the way back up, but here comes Tesla 400 very, very quickly here. Let's just sort of zoom out. You can see the massive break through the pre-market top at 378.
Let's go,
should have been all over this one. The market booming to the upside. I'm long in WTRH and that Cisco position where we loaded up in front of 3650, but watch out 400.
Yeah, exactly. We are absolutely monstrous here today, guys. Everything is well in the money. We'll regroup again just to show you guys what we do have. We do have that IM fresh stock. That's been a little bit of a problem, but here we go. Let's talk about what we have. Unfortunately, we got out of Alibaba at that 177 or 178 break. That was a mistake, but here we go. Facebook. Okay, that's a $3.60 winner. We're long. Facebook, 145.70 right now. Gilead's a $2.30 winner. Microsoft's a $4 winner. That IFMK is a 17-cent loser, and Cisco right now 30-cent loser. We're light on Cisco though, so right now I'm not even worried about that. We're watching the other stocks as we continue to go to the moon, and this has been a rain money day. You can see the profits at the bottom that we're making. I'm pissed off that my trigger missed the 17 on Uber, but I only crossed up 2 pennies. That is on myself. Gilead, okay, Microsoft's a $4 winner right now, guys. Still going up. Facebook, this is a 4. Look at Facebook. This is where we're long, and we still enjoy this. It just keeps going, Neil.
It's arrows up in the market, but you get a level like that 400 on Tesla. You saw me focused out there. We just took a very, very quick $6 scalp on Tesla in front of that 400 even there. We were prepared to reverse to the long side if it was an opportunity to do so. That type of a trade, though, is not one that I'm looking to stare at twice. It'll test one time. It gives you the bounce. That's fantastic. We're not going to get too frisky or too greedy when it comes to testing that level again. But usually the first time you rub up, there's profit taking in front of those levels. You see the market continuing to run, and I will show you what's going on overall in the NASDAQ, marching towards the open price. We were down only 0.5% when we opened. We slid a couple hundred handles to the downside, and now all the way back up here. The only thing, I mean, literally, Sean, the only thing not participating is this bloody long in Cisco. It just doesn't seem to want to get going. And for a name that I thought would be relatively strong, it's at least held that pre-market bottom. That's the only good thing I can say about it. So it hasn't been a problem. I haven't lost on the trade. It's just that it's not going for me here. 36.80 long, looking for it to take that top off at 37.40 and then get some real profits.
We just got out there of that IFMK4, a loser. I'm going to definitely screen cap this Facebook and send this one out. We are still long here. Neil talked about taking $6 there on Tesla. Obviously, that's a great trade. But who the hell would have thought I'd be in the money $6 right now on Facebook? So we have a $6 winner right now on Facebook.
Guess where Zoom is.
This is a I don't even know. This is a $5 winner right now on Microsoft. This is a $3 winner on Gilead right now. Let's hope Cisco can keep going. This has been a fantastic day, guys. Wow.
And right here at 125, $6 move on Zoom here through the top. It's trying to take the top off. And again, that's another time I get triggered a little bit early there. So, you know, a level doesn't break. You don't necessarily want it. You want to see a sustained move through the top to take the long. I don't actually get that. So we're going to wait here for Zoom to really go. We'll jump back over to Cisco because it's about time is all I can say for this one. Finally making a nice little move off the top. You can see us basically picking this level off the bottom here. We got bottom wick on this move. You waited for it to turn. I was just looking over, caught a little bit of a bid, catch it on the way back, and we're able to quickly take a nice little 30-cent win. And again, I've been taking profits here. Look at the chart at this 37.20 through that high in the pre-market. I still want to break, and I want to be long as it breaks through that high, but you got to take some profit off. You got to go slapshot action and be happy with the wins that you do get. The reload at 36.50 is going to be great. We'll hang on to some of those shares as well. See if we can't get a push through that dollar even mark in terms of profit on Cisco.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping for that dollar as well. Do I take $7 on Facebook or not? You guys type that in the chat. Should I take this $7 winner right now on Facebook, or do we hold the rest? Maybe we'll take some out and see what happens. But right now, Facebook 152.50 looks like it may have bounced off that. I don't know. But if I took it all out for only a $3 winner, then we wouldn't have this 6. So we'll wait to see. 650 now in the money. We'll wait to see on this one. But yeah, it's been such a monstrous day. I hope all of you guys are enjoying it.
We didn't trade Darden here. We did give a level, that 36 even area. It does rest off the bottom here at 30, comes back up to that 36 even, and then we have a halt. So certainly, if this one opens higher, you look at the daily chart, we already know what has happened to this name. If it wants to participate in any kind of a bounce, that could get very, very interesting. Of course, it's going to be a weak one. If we open lower after the halt, maybe you short off of that 36 even and give yourself a shot here. Just only in this Cisco long, as we just opened back up on Darden, and it looks like it's going to be higher. Just opened at 36.98.
Guys, there is that $7 right there. So run the cash register. It's a clean $7 winner right now on Facebook off of this 145.50 long. 8. 153 just cracks through there. It's $8 on Facebook. It's $5 on Microsoft. I don't even need to do anything else. This is a 30-cent winner right now on Cisco. We're waiting for that top as well to happen on that name. So Cisco now moving to the upside.
Yeah, let's go Cisco. That's
the only loser is Alibaba for me
80
today.
cents in the money. Yeah,
and
Alibaba was an annoying one. I got to be honest with you, but wasn't able to reload. But there goes Tesla through 400. Did not get the fill there, and it snaps right back down. So if I don't get the fill right away, I usually don't want the breakout trade. Apparently, it's 10 o'clock already. That means it is time for Brendan and happening now.
$8.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock already, 30 minutes in the books here. We'll have a look at some markets, see how things are shaping up after the first half an hour here in North America. I once again included Europe in this just to have a look at how these are bouncing back as well. Down significantly, it was 3+% for the most part when I sat down this morning, all moving back to the upside as well, which is good to see. To the top side here, you can see the S&P still in negative territory, 1.2%, the Dow 1.9%, but look at tech stocks. I mentioned in the pre-market, what's going to be the first things to go positive. We're seeing tech stocks definitely leading the market higher. TSX here in Toronto down about 1%. Some energy names coming back to the upside with crude oil. Other mining stocks, though, in particular, to the downside this morning, kind of weighing on things here in Toronto. The BOVESPA in Brazil, yeah, another big down day for them, almost 5,000 points, 7.5% for Brazil stocks in negative territory. A couple things moving around here in Toronto. Suncor, wanted to mention this one, had a huge move to the downside yesterday, all the way down to $14 at the low there for Suncor yesterday. We're back to 15.5. Like how this one's setting up. Nice little tight consolidation should give you another move to the upside if the market does try to continue. Look at Husky. This one leading the energy group here in Toronto to the upside. Huge volume on the buy side for HSE. We went from 246 up to about 270 off the open. A bit of a consolidation for that one as well. Enbridge, not so much. One to the downside as well, kind of consolidating at the lows here, looking like it might want to test a little bit lower. So Enbridge, relative weakness coming in. Everything else, though, overall moving higher except for cannabis names, guys, still really struggling. Toronto in negative territory, everything else trying to go positive. Back over to you.
And again, sort of going through that 400, you get Tesla off 400 again and bouncing to the downside. You do have a bit of a $10, $12 range here at the top that we're hanging out for the last few minutes since that break. Fortunately, we're able to get out of that short scalp very, very quickly before it turned right around like $1 or $2 later. You don't want to get too greedy, but I do want to see us break out of here. If it's going to be to the downside, the futures are now coming down on the NASDAQ. We're actually back into negative territory by a tenth of a percentage point, to be honest with you. But watch out. If we take the top off on Tesla 402, 420 is probably the next key level.
Oh, man. Hit that air horn, guys. Wow. So we did get out by accident here on Facebook, and we got right back in. And, now we have another dollar winner. What is there news on Facebook here, or has this just been so beat up?
Twitter's the same thing here.
Yes,
I'm looking
I bought
at it.
Twitter yesterday, $21.
Twitter flushed off the open all the way to
2060.
Then it goes up to 2260 there. So market coming back through. We
Winner.
just took the top off.
$5
if
on
we
Softy.
continue to the upside, 400 400 again on Tesla is going to be good. Cisco is $1 in the money right now, so hold on to your longs, guys. The market is running. It is all arrows up. Greensville.
Yeah, you don't need to tell this guy to hold on to his trades right here. $1 winner on Facebook after just taking 8. So this is a $9 winner right here. Microsoft a $5 winner. Gilead's a $3 winner. This is what we have on right now. We'll put up the board again. You guys can see the exact prices if you do want. Here we go. Here's my position board once again for you guys. These are all the bids. We've taken these longs. I talked about this in the pre-market. I love longs. And here we go. Bang, bang, bang. And bang.
The futures look like they want to roll over, so I like a couple of weak names here. Gap unable to take the top, so I'm going to reverse and take a short now in some retail here if I can. So Gap on this little pullback with the market trying to get back to the downside after that nice move to the upside. Let's see if we can work a short into this one. Brennan, what do you got?
On that Facebook, they're teaming up with the National Arts Centre here in Canada to fund some online video streaming concerts by some Canadian artists. We've seen this over the past couple of days on Instagram Live. A lot of well-known artists going on Instagram Live doing just spur-of-the-moment kind of performances for people that want to watch who are obviously stuck at home. So a little bit of news there for FB, guys.
Guys, we're huge today. Check the profits at the bottom. I don't even know what to tell you guys, but today has been a monstrous day, and I even missed that Uber trade and got screwed on Alibaba. Look at this out down here. It breaks down below 178. I just didn't want to take the pain anymore, so we did get out. This is the only losing trade today for me. Right now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, IFMK. We lost on that as well. So I am fresh. I should never trade these garbage stocks. Stick with the big caps. But right now today, it's been a banner.
Yeah, I'm with you. Boeing was no good. The short that I put on in Boeing, that was no good. BABA, that could have been a heck of a lot better. Honestly, we missed one of those reloads. But I'll tell you, Cisco here running into a ton of resistance at this pre-market high over and over again, failing at 37.40. So I will take another leg off on this trade right here at 37.25. It's going to be a nice win. It's 70 pennies on this stock, which is a good return on Cisco, almost 2%. You'll take that all day long. But for a name that we thought was going to be strong, it still has not taken the top off. You want to see if we can't break through this 37.45. When it does, the whole time I've been wanting to add on a breakout, it just has not actually broken at any point.
I am not dumping these longs, guys. Everything's still rocking like crazy.
Finally.
There goes Cisco. Bang!
Finally. We just added.
Let's go.
We talked about adding on the break the entire time. It finally goes. Cisco jumping into the party. Here we go. Tesla breaks 400. 7,300 we're getting close to on the market here.
Hell yeah.
Big movement to the upside finally.
Yeah. Yes, and we are monstrous. Facebook's another $2. This is a $10 winner right now on Facebook. This is $10, guys. We're long 145. We get out. We buy back by accident there. Bang, that's another $10 winner right there. Gilead, that's a $3 winner. Microsoft, $6. I never thought we would have these kind of winners on these names, but Cisco right now for myself as well. Another 50-cent winner right there. We took some out right here, and we'll wait to see. 37.70 it got as high as? Okay, wants to do that again. We'll take that out again. But Brendan, I hope you've been long here today. This has been a crazy day.
Busy morning, guys, obviously. Even the hotels. We were talking about the hotels being very negative. Back to the upside for Marriott here, just as we speak, taking out that pre-market resistance for MAR, guys.
So I looked at a name that hadn't participated yet, and that was going to be Intel. Watch it try to bounce back up here, but holding the middle of the range is a name that I kind of liked. If we can get back through that 47, maybe take this top off, 47.06, that could be an interesting one. Otherwise, if we roll over here in the futures, I liked it strong, but if it can't participate in the move and test its highs, it could be a short retracement if the market comes back in.
And there's another $1. We are out of Facebook on that retracement back down. We take $1.10 on that last part, guys. Raining in the profits, needless to say. Check the Facebook profits at the bottom. You'll see there's Gilead taking out $5 out of that name so far today. Let's just keep this party rocking. Look at that out on Facebook there. Breaking back down through 155. We take that out. Ring the registers on that name. That comes out. Our Microsoft is going to come out very soon as well. My stop order on that one is breaking. Oh no, I got to change that. Breaking below 143. Oh yeah, that's $2 away from here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We just jumped into into that Intel to the short side, and we're going to work in on that gap as well. But I think we are ready for Brendan. Once again, what do you have, buddy?
Cheesecake Factory, guys, for some strange reason, having a very, very good day. They had a couple of downgrades and price target cuts today, but look at this move from $17 up to approaching $22. I mean, it was, $42 2 weeks ago, but nice move for Cheesecake Factory too, guys.
I like cheesecake.
Cheesecake, yeah, hit that thing there. I like. I like a little fruit on top there. You get a little raspberry cheesecake there. Very, very nice. Sometimes the chocolate cheesecake a little too sweet for me, but great little trading today. We can buy a lot of cheesecakes with today's profit. We are not. It's only 10:08. Check the numbers at the bottom, the kind of stuff that we're doing right now. It's been monstrous for me. I only have Cisco long, 37.02. I have Gilead long, that's $2 in the money still, and Microsoft right now, big time in the money as well. We just take Boeing there now, long through 99.50, Neil. I'm in the Boeing game right now, so we take Boeing long. 99.65 is my price right now on Boeing. Let's see if we can't go. There's the little tick. You see me getting long there. These little marks with the arrow up, that's a long tick right there. So trying to see if it wants to break the top here.
Here comes Elon's favorite price, 420 on Tesla, looking like it's going to be another move to the upside on this one. We'll see if we can't do the same thing we did last time with this trade, right in front of that 420. We want that breakout the first time, but we're willing to sort of fade it as well, see if we can catch a nice little win.
Everything is ripping up here like crazy. So Boeing right now just goes up $1, not that much. It does break 100. That's the exciting part. So we'll wait to see here what that wants to do on the top side. Put an order at 103. That may not be enough. Let's just wait to see. It's $1 in the money right now, but we do not know how high these stocks can go today. Gilead ripping up. Microsoft's now $6 in the money. That's good. Cisco now 50 cents in the money. I'm still waiting up here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe I didn't reload in Cisco when it just got back to 37 there. So that could be an interesting one. We just reversed to the long side on Intel, and we are going to go to Brendan. We have some upgrades and downgrades apparently to get to. I see a few interesting names.
Interesting moves all over the place this morning, guys. Good to know what has a little bit of backing behind it to the upside and downside this morning. Afri, I want to show you this one in a second, catching an upgrade. 4.7% in positive territory, leading the group, in fact, here on the TSX. Green Dot, we have Roku, 7.5% to the upside today. There's Tesla, 5.5% as well. Applied Materials, Sean, your Beyond Meat, not doing well today. It did get a little bit of a bounce, but still in negative territory. Estee Lauder and Microchip, 5.6% to the downside after a downgrade. Let's have a look at Afria here. $3 was the level here that it bounced off of. We're all the way back to 330. This is in Toronto, guys, if you want to look at apha.to. Having a nice day. Beyond Meat, look at this bounce, though. We had a big flush from 52 down to 48.5, right back up now above 53. Hey, look at that. Just went positive for Beyond Meat, even with the downgrade today, guys. Back to you.
So Boeing, right? Great look there. We do that Beyond Meat. Great little animation there. I hope you guys like that. We hit them on the board there, so that's a good call there. Okay, so Boeing right now is a clean $1 in the money. We could take it if we want. I think we can get obviously some more. I'm going to use 98 as the stop, so it's going to be a $1.50 risk on the downside. We'll see if we can't make more to the top right now. Microsoft, everything's ripping up right now. I see that comment, Peter. Thanks. Yeah, we will hopefully not have a heart attack anytime soon. If we do, it'd be good TV, right? So I'll be here for that.
Will it though? I don't know if it will be. I don't like that idea. I don't want to have any heart attacks. Heart attack if you're short on FedEx. That one just broke up to 107 there. Tesla breakout through 420, looking like it's not sustaining this move here. I'll give this one bout to like 415 or so, but looks like we've taken a little bit of a top. I am trying to reverse into the short trade some point in Gap, which I think is going to come back in, but it just broke $8 even on Gap.
Valeria. I see some notes there from Brendan in the chat there. So we're going to go to Valeria Batman for her comments eventually on this one. But we did talk about coronavirus not being reported in Russia. There you go. Brendan Wickens, first 2 deaths there. Thank you. Not thank you. I mean, that's bad.
Well, that's obviously not good news.
Let's check the RSX out right now if you guys are trading that. Shout out to Kirill Furshine. It's not loading up here, but RSX, if you did want to watch that, that is the ETF there.
Boo. Boom. So failed move there in WTF. We'll go to Tesla there.
Tesla,
coming back in rather heavily. So ultimately we did try that little breakout. It did not hold through 420.
Here, guys.
So all we got left on is the reversal long
Boeing.
into Intel. That one, if we can get to it very, very quickly here. This one,
Sure, go nuts.
like Intel, it's been resisting this move for quite some time. It's nowhere near its top. We just picked it up when it broke 47. It's finally going to the upside here as the market approaches 7,300. I'll probably be adding to this one if it can take the top off. Certainly, you're looking at $1 from here. And for all these tech names that have all surpassed their high of the day, all of their pre-market tops, Intel just a big-time lagger, unfortunately for me. We tried one short reversal to the long on this one on Intel. It is what it is. And we're actually back into Cisco here through 3750. So we're all out of our 3650s. And now the breakout through the top are the only two longs we have.
Yeah, let's go right now. We are going to try to trade this Cisco out here. If I can get it in the 60s, that'd be pretty sweet. We're sitting at 66. We are long Cisco at 02. So there it is, one of my least winners today, 60 cents. But we take it. We're in these longs right now, guys. Okay, so Gilead, look at this Microsoft position. 39.24. 139.24 is where we're long. That's a $7 winner right now in this name. Look at Boeing. Who's long with me? Boeing. 99.50. This is a $2.50 winner right now. I have an order at 104.
There goes Lyft. Lyft again through 1880. We just took another 50 on Intel there. We're still holding on to that core position. Cisco, no reload, but we did take some out there at 3770. That'll end the story for those 3650 longs. Again, we do have that breakout, the secondary trade that we did take on Cisco. I'll just show you how we were working into this one through the bottom. Most of our ad here at 3650 is all out now. We did take the reload on the breakout. These are the shares that we're now working on. These are two separate trades, right? Now it's really starting to make it move towards the top. No levels to work from. If you go to the daily chart, I mean, there's a lot of chop in this area, especially when you get to this $38 area. So for me, I think that's going to be a good place. But 7,300, we just got taken out. The market on the NQ was 350 handles to the upside, up 2%. Remember, we're 0.5% down at the open. The ES has just moved 100 handles. It's now positive. It was down 1% as well. The market is off to the races to the upside.
We are destroying this market, guys, right now. This is a $7. Peter, you want me to take a $7.50 winner on Microsoft? I don't know. We'll see here. I'm going to put a stop, breaking back down below 146. We will capture that $7. Oh, and by $7 right now, I mean 8. Here we go, straight to the moon. Oh yeah, that Cisco trade, now $1 in the money. This is a face slapper all around today. Oh yeah, that Boeing trade, that's a $4 winner as well.
That's what I'm talking about. We love this Cisco move. I want to get you guys to DRI, which has come all the way back to that key $36 area. There was a break here. That was where the halt was. This is where I'm going to jump back into this trade. Big time spread, so watch out on DRI. So a 50-cent spread, we're able to get some 36.50, reasonable price in front of that 36. Brennan, what do you got?
Widespread buying, guys, right across the board. Even the travel names, Expedia here, 12.5% to the upside. We've gone from 44 to 52. It was 125 again 2 weeks ago, but still nice day for Expedia, guys.
Yeah, well, Expedia is going to be in a world of hurt for a little bit. No one really booking anything right now.
Yeah,
okay.
just going some
Microsoft, $9 winner right now. So yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to just keep trailing this. I'm going to trail this about $1. Here we go. We're going to rip through 148 right now. We are long 139 right now on Microsoft. What a play. We are at 148 right now. The market just keeps going and going and going. Boeing those stops at 103, guys.
Just a quick look here on DRI. We'll structure the trade for you. Every single time it's made a move towards that bottom, you had two levels here. You had 30 even, and then you had 36 even. So if it breaks that 36, you'll give it to this little peak here, about 35 for a stop. If it makes another run to the high of the day, fantastic. That gives you about $4 worth of upside for a win.
Yep.
You risk about half that. Slippage could be a bit of a thing because the spread's open up. Right now, it's actually reasonable. And when I spread, I just mean the difference between the bid and the ask. You can see buyers here at 36.12. You can see sellers here at 36.40. So that's actually not too bad. I've seen bigger than that on this name.
Yeah, just a $4 winner. We took out of half right there, a little bit there. Pop the wheelie. We take out some Boeing at, what is that price? 102.93 right there. Just seeing some resistance up here, guys. This is what I'm looking at. You know, bounce, 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 bounce 4 times. I'm not going to not take this $4 winner. So we take out half of our Boeing for $4 and watch the rest of this as, yeah, okay, Microsoft, I guess you want to fall back down now. So that was a $9 winner. Now just an $8 winner. Our stop is going to be down here, I think 147. So if we break that, we'll get out of there and capture our $8 and just move on. So right here, Microsoft, a very, very fun name today, to say the least, guys.
Yeah, and as things come back in, I'm going to go with what we call a manual trailing stop. It's not that I put an order in saying, if it goes back 50 cents, we'll get out of it. I just moved my stop on Cisco to break even so we can get out of it. And I'll show you, I mean, ultimately, it made a nice run to 38. We thought they might run into resistance. Probably should have taken profit off in front of that 38, even we don't. So our last leg is going to be a break-even trade. DRI is somehow holding up as the market turns around here. It's trying to make a nice little leg here in 36. We gave that level to you. We're long in front of it. I'd like to see us get back to that 39 and maybe catch a couple of bucks on that.
Just to give you guys an update, our Gilead long is 81.50. We are going to be waiting for this to break through 83. I'm going to tweet out. Follow us on Twitter, guys. I'm going to tweet this Microsoft trade out right now. Make sure you follow us. Look at this. Still long, 139. What's up, Brendan?
Guys, Dave and Buster's play here, having a nice day as well. Big bounce off of $5 this morning. We're at $8.50 right now. Again, this thing's come from 47 all the way down to $5, but earnings were decent. They also talked about a little bit of corporate restructuring in the wake of the coronavirus, guys.
Play Dave and Buster's. Haven't been in one of those in a long, long time. And of course, in the near run, probably won't be going to one anytime soon. That's just the reality that we are dealing with here. I can show you Intel, and you know, for a name that I liked, not really going to get going. It was a nice breakout trade through this 47 even area here on the way back in, but it is resisting somewhat. So what I will go ahead and do is take these shares that we have, our second ad, when we got these shares at 47.30. We'll trail that to a break-even stop so that will turn into a winner no matter what. And we're looking for a break of 48 here, a run towards the high. That would give you about $1. If the market continues, I think we'll get that opportunity. But I don't want to turn that winning trade into a losing trade, certainly not on a day like today, where there are plenty of other fish in the sea when it comes to good long opportunities.
Yeah, and that makes sense. There's a lot of opportunities, and just check the profits below. You'll see lots of opportunities there. I am tweeting this out. Follow me at TraderTV Sean. You'll be able to see all of these trades as we go as well. And you know, hit me up. Ask me any questions you have there. We also do have, Neil has one, Brendan. We all have our Twitter accounts rocking and rolling. So follow us there. Check the news. What's up to Liz from home? What's up to everybody watching us here? What's up to Valeria? Thank you to Emma and Rob.
Market coming back in just a little bit here, back through 2,400 on the ES. So this DRI, which is bouncing rather nicely off that 36 level, you know, if it can't make that leg to 39 that I've been looking for here, I don't want to get entirely too greedy with this one. It's going to give me an opportunity for a clean $2 win if I can take it with the market turning around. And overall, let's remember what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about. You're talking about a stock that was $120. It is now 38. And that just happened in a matter of a week and a half or so. So, you know, if I can take this one off for a couple of bucks, you're basically getting a 50% retracement off this level. We love 36, and we talked about this one in the pre-market here, and as much as I'll be very, very happy that it went to the moon, the problem with that breakout was it essentially halted on that breakout. So you couldn't really capture it unless you were willing to take it, you know, market on open after the halt. And you heard me say that if it opened down, I didn't want any part of it, so we allow it to go all the way up to 41, retest that 36 area. We're able to get back in on the way up instead of on the way down. You know, you miss out on about 50 cents worth of profit, but that's fine if you can take two. So DRI working out for us here. It's still up 12% on the day, but if it can hold here, it might turn into a bit of a short opportunity. Brendan, with our small cap recap at the big screen.
Yeah, a number of names to look at in small cap world today. That WTRH, the one everyone focusing on. One we didn't mention this morning in the pre-market, but did have a little bit of news. BIMI, another one that was in the coronavirus craze a couple of weeks back. had a couple of big moves on the possibility of them developing a vaccine. Back to the upside this morning. This thing has come all the way back to $1.50, getting a little bit of a bounce on decent volume this morning. So the long was available. I wasn't looking at this one, but the long above the pre-market high here was available if you're looking at it. 280 up to about 325 for BIMI, still up 22% on the day. This is that WTRH, the easiest trade, I think, just long above the pre-market high. That was the only one I took anyways, from just above this 340, 350 area, depending on where you caught it. There was $1 available there to the upside on that WTRH. We're all the way back down. In fact, watch if it takes out this 280 level, guys. We have come a long way over the past couple of days, so might give you a short opportunity as well for that WTRH. I want to show you this one as well. I put this line up here 2 days ago because of this high, 1220 on CODX. Came right up to that, turned on a dime, all the way back down to 1120. So as we like to say, don't get too far away from some of the ones that have been good to you over the past couple of days. CODX giving you another opportunity today. Guys, back to you.
All right.
So after halting a couple of times, your Dave & Buster's, sorry, not a couple of times, 3 times. After halting 3 times here, Dave & Buster's opens again higher, now 90%. When this one starts to come in, at some point, you see these moves, multiple halts, usually is a short opportunity. You look at those halt levels to get taken out. 858 was the last one. If it does want to trade below that, it could be an opportunity for the short for me. As the market does seem like it wants to slide back down, Dave & Buster's being up this much when obviously no one's going to be going there for a little bit. I might take a shot at this if it gets back below that 860 level. Watch out when it halts on the way back down. I mean, volatility halts on the name. It's only done 2 million. And liquidity looks like this, rather thin, you've got to be careful with.
Yeah, and we're just getting our stops out for Boeing now as that's fallen back down. So we're going to get out 98.50 here, take a $4 winner, lose $1. Hey, no sweat job there. Okay, Microsoft right here, guys. As we're talking, we'll talk about that right now quickly. You have to have a stop out, so we get out of the last third all the way down here at 146. Obviously, we give up the ghost up here at 148. We were trying to let that run. It was a $9 winner, so sorry about that, guys. Just $7.50 right there for the win. But we get out on that break. Look, I was trailing this stop all the way down. We put it for 146. It was at 144. Then we changed it to 145. Then we changed it to 146. That's your out. And more to come on this one later, I promise. There you go, Microsoft.
Coming back into $8 here is Gap. You can see the tremendous breakout here through that pre-market level. If this takes it back to the sell side, that should be a nice little flush. But very similar to Darden, you can maybe pick this one up off of this little low here on the way back up. You're only risking a few pennies through 790 to see if you can't get a little bit of a retracement through 8. Brendan, what do you got for us?
A little Canadian content, guys. Canada Goose having a nice day as well. 3.7% in New York to the upside. Just consolidating here like it might want to make another move. 17 right above us here. Watch 17 to the upside. Another one that's just been crushed over the past few days. More volume in New York. You can obviously trade that one in Toronto as well, but more than double the volume in New York today, guys.
I'm loving Canada Goose. Now, you know what? I almost pulled the trigger on buying that yesterday in my own investment account, but did not. And now today's a mistake. But the one thing I did buy, you're not going to believe this, but yesterday I was able to pick up Disney here in my own account at $80.25. So the low was $79. We picked Disney up yesterday at $80 in my investment account, and now $94. So I don't know if I'll cash out or not. Obviously, we've been long Disney for a while, so nice little average in there. Should have picked up some Tesla shares yesterday as well, but did not do that.
Just gave you pullback on DRI, but also on Gap here. You look at this clean breakout through the pre-market top to the upside, clean from about 790 to 840, so a 50-cent move on an $8 name. It comes back into literally the same price. It should never really be this easy when you look at a chart. See that clean a breakout level, have it come all the way back straight down in 5 minutes, and then bounce off that bottom, and you're able to pick this one up just a few seconds ago at 790. We grabbed it there on 795. We already took some out here at 815, looking to get some more out shy of the high of the day. When you see this kind of a bounce and you see the market sort of stalling out a little bit at the top end of its range, you're probably going to want to take some profit off, not expecting the second move to be as good as the first. But Gap proving to be rather volatile here. It still hasn't even done a million shares, so watch out for liquidity concerns.
Boo, Gap. I don't like any of those retail names. We talked about that over and over again. My GILD here, where are you supposed to come out? It says it already did go out, but it did not trigger. It should have triggered through 83. Something happened there with the stop order. So right now, Gilead, we still have that one long, 81.58. It's $1 in the money. I'm going to switch it. Now this is VWAP. It touches down there. 82.50 is this VWAP level. So my stop order did not hit going down through 83. Not sure why it's some sort of failure here, but we will take it out 82.50 now if it does break, but that's a winner all day
right now. And Dave & Buster's to the downside. You can see it come back in. I talked about that previous halt level, that 860 area. It does break it. I trigger into the short, and we halt downside. So it's come back in. This is the first halt since it's moved back down. We are short into this halt. It's a volatility halt. I'll show you what that looks like in our system here, trading pre-Pro 8. It's all grayed out. That's how you know it's not going to be trading for the next little bit. 10:26. 5 minutes is usually the standard time before we reopen on a volatility halt. So we're looking at about 10:31 that will be opening back up. We're short 840. I mean, obviously, and when you see this come back in that heavily, this was a $5 stock at the open. I would prefer to be short as I am now into that halt price. If it opens above that 860, usually you want to get right out. But if it opens below, we'll see if we can't hang on. This consolidation down here at 7 should be interesting, and the halt before that was at 740. Right. So a couple of things to think about on the way back in before this opens up.
Yeah, a problem there, obviously, Dave & Buster's. Look, no one's going to be going to that store. I know you've talked about that a lot in the last.
I used to go there in high school.
Yeah, who knows?
A couple of years ago.
Here's the positions, just so you guys know. We are running this right now. Boeing long. This is a 50-cent winner right now. We're going to hold that one. Cisco as well. That's a 65-cent winner here, and Gilead is $1.80. So right now we face slap. The day is just keeps getting bigger and better as we go. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Oh, I thought I took that off. I guess I did not. Let me take that off for you guys, unless you guys can. Stop. There we go. Okay, it's off. Yeah, what a big winner here. Talk about Gilead. It does bounce off that stop limit there. We get lucky that does not trigger. Our Cisco 3702. We are still long 3702 Cisco. And Boeing with a nice little move off that bottom. I told you guys we would give it to about 98 here, guys, and bang. Right now, a nice little hold here on Boeing. Let's see if we can't get more upside to go on this name. I'll also tweet this one out. We are still long down here, $99.50, enjoying $2 right now, but everything in the money. Let's wrap right now. Brendan, what's up?
Another one moving higher, guys. Restaurant brands, obviously another one to look at. QSR here in New York. Again, you can trade it in Toronto. 13% to the upside. Huge volume here from 30 up to 32. Look at the buyers still coming in here for a QSR on the run, guys.
So Darden worked, Gap worked, arrows up. You should never get these types of setups that are going to be they're going to present you with this. In a clean breakout price, revisit that price, turn on an absolute dime, and then give you such a clean secondary move. You missed the first one here, and you really shouldn't have. We were sort of talking about this 790 as it happened, short in front of it, and then you want to grab that little long. But here we go. We'll see if we can't take out what will be a 30-cent win on this name. We did take half of that the first time. So the only position I now have on after taking off Gap is going to be a short. It's been mostly, success has been to the long side. Shorts haven't worked so far, but we do have Dave & Buster's to the short side, and we are going to have to be paying close attention to this one when it opens up in about a minute or so. This one just came off $1.80, so almost a 20% retracement here, and we got short into it. So you got to watch out, because if it goes back to the upside, it could be back at that high rather quickly, and I'm not trying to lose $1.80 on this stock.
No, you are not. Uber as well. Wow, I can't believe we missed that Uber trade at $17.
Lyft was the same. Lyft was almost as good.
Yeah, that could have just absolutely destroyed and rocketed our net as if it's not already. What's up, Brendan?
Nat Gas just out, guys. $9 billion to the downside versus $6 billion drawdown expected. Tilray here, I want to mention that one as well. Huge move from 250 up to 320. On the daily chart, it's almost laughable, the size of this move. I mean, it's 30%, but it's come from 20 all the way down. So So Tilray on the run as well, guys.
Yeah, the weed name, CGC, Canopy going crazy. That reminds me, one of my favorite things is Weed Batman is in the building there. Every time we mention it, there you go, you get a little bit of a weed face there. CGC, here we go. The chart didn't update. There we go. CGC, here we go. No, it's not 28%, 15% top side here for marijuana companies today. But check out the daily chart on CGC. It is yucky. We were only $22 just a couple weeks ago. Wow, we touched $8 yesterday.
Yuck.
Now we're down to 11 and change. Buy options on this one, guys, if you are excited about that space. I know they're going to be a little bit expensive, but with these kind of moves, there's more to come on this. Disney, wow, continues to go. The last time we talked about this stock
Sean,
was
BOVESPA actually,
$93.
BOVESPA's still on its high. I got to be glued to my level 2s. We're about to open back up on Dave & Buster's here. So just looking at that one, really, really regretting. We did try to pick it back up when it retook that 79 to 80 area. That's going to be the biggest misstep. Getting stopped out of a Tesla long, that's just as bad almost. But here we are opening up, and I don't love immediately. We do open up a tad lower, but not much. We're below that 820 mark. I'll throw a break-even stop. If it gets above 850, I don't want to be too involved in this one if it retakes that previous hull price. So not a heck of a lot of volatility off of this open. I will have a stop order, see if we can't get this one to run. But usually you want to see it open and then flush. That's not what happened here. We took a shot. If it does want to break above that previous hull price, it'll be close to a break-even trade for us taking a shot there. And there it goes on Dave & Buster's. Don't get the flush we wanted. I don't know why it's so strong, but we took a shot at it and missed.
Yeah, sometimes you take shots and miss, including this one right here, Alibaba. You can go into the gates of hell right here. The only real loser I have on today was Alibaba. We loved it here. And it's not much of a loser. It's actually, it's laughable considering the winners we've had. But Alibaba, we did go long here. We cashed out. These are all win, 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 win. But then unfortunately, the last half of our trade, we wind up. So these are all like dollar winners. And then the last half, we lose about $2 there. So negating all of this before, look where we get out. And then look what happens. Okay, Cisco right now on its highs. Who's got this one? So we go from the gates of hell to a smile because Cisco right now straight to the upside. Your boy still has that one on right now. That's a dollar winner. Gilead's a $1.80 winner right now, and Boeing's a $1.50 winner. So all these ideas, I hope you guys follow them.
Elaine,
look at the profits below.
Elaine, I absolutely love your idea there. I think if volatility doesn't make another move here, it's going to be hard to take the top off. And if you look at what's going on in the futures, it obviously is a good move to the upside. If we can't take out that 7,400, where do I want to be short on a pullback? It might actually be the airline space. I got to be honest with you. Look at these tops that are getting put in. Double top just got made in DAL here, Delta. Also, I usually like American Airlines to express these trades. The thing about American is it's turned back negative, as you can see here, a little further away off of its top. Either one setting up well, a little bit less risk if you jump into the Delta trade, however.
Yeah, Neil and I over 30 years experience here. So, Rob, we are glad that you are on board with us.
I just told him I was in high school a couple of years ago, Sean.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Neil, well, you know, Neil didn't graduate high school until he was older, so that's why that would work. No. Okay, we are, yes, so again, join us, guys. We do primarily trade U.S. markets, but if there is anything you guys are looking at, put the names in the chat there. Valeria will let us know. We're watching the chat as well. We can throw to her for any questions you guys may have that we don't answer, but thank you, Rob. We are here as well for you guys back to back. Boeing right now, long 99.60.
Well, that took a while, Intel.
This is $2 in the money. Cisco, yeah, a lot of these stocks took a while to go, but right now, Cisco, look at this, guys, as the market is booming today. We told some guys in the previous, we could get a Arun on. I told him this would be a booming day today as well. I hope he's hella long as well. Cisco right now, $1.20 in the money. What's up, Mr. Wicked?
Yeah, we're working on getting a Arun, guys, for $11.20 today, but he's obviously busy as this market's going crazy. A lot of the real estate names coming back to the upside, 4.5% to the upside here for VICI. Little real estate investment trust, $12 could be interesting for this name. They have been really, really hurt during the past couple of weeks, also coming back to the upside, guys.
So immediately we talked about that double top. in DAL here, but we do have a long also. So we have a long and a short on. Long in that Intel, it finally broke that 48. But again, it just shows a little bit of weakness here. So that one may not work out on a breakout. I can tell you what immediately works. 50 cents in the money is short 23.86 off of that high. It looks like this one could be a nice retracement play here. We could get as far, it was 22.80 or so when you look at the chart very, very quickly, and then you nab a quick little dollar on that trade. I wanted to be an adder at 24. It doesn't even give you a shot at that price. Thankfully, we even got that little bump up to allow us to get into any shares here. If it breaks 23 even, we'll like this for a dollar when retracement basically to VWAP.
Delta, yeah, good one. I just wanted to tell you guys about Cisco right here. We're waiting to see if it breaks through 30. There it goes. I was going to say we'll dump. We only have a small position now. If it breaks through that level, 37.90, we get out. So we
market coming back.
Yeah,
here.
we take a clean dollar right there, guys. So evil laugh time on Cisco. What a great trade that turned out to be. Thank God for that.
Yeah, and the market is coming back a little bit here. You're just going to dump that Intel trade and hang on to our short trade that we do have. So, Intel does not want to participate. This is what's happening. We talk about rolling over, the market sort of coming back in after failing at that high of the day on the NQ. This is what we're certainly looking at here, and short about 60 cents in the money. Intel, that position we just took off. So it does look like we're coming back in a little bit. I think the short off the top could be the play there, Elaine. I know you were thinking maybe the same thing.
Yep. Elaine, yeah, welcome again.
One of
Elaine,
our heavy chatters there on YouTube.
Yeah, heavy chatter there. Welcome, Elaine, and hopefully you continue with some of these ideas. It's been great. Cisco, we get out there. We're going to hold a little bit of our last bunch here for 37.50. You guys know I love those 50-cent levels, so we'll wait to see if that does break down below, and then we'll take that out for how convenient a 50-cent win. We're long 37.02 off that play, and again, going long breaking through 37 here. Had to hold it a little bit, had to get out of half for that 40-cent loser, but look at this. Bang, bang, bang. Easily making back everything we lost on that one.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Alibaba.
Let's go.
As I talk about rolling over, as the futures come back in there, Alibaba still actually crested towards a 187 top. So it's 187 on Alibaba. It's not even pulling back at all here. If the market comes back in and you're talking about something which has extended itself, I don't know. We've only been thinking and looking long on Alibaba. For me, it hasn't been the best stock. You can see us taking it out and getting stopped here. That's just an ugly, ugly stop that we ended up taking on Alibaba. We just got triggered in. That 790 we gave you on Gap, it's come back in, so we're now to the short side there. So if the market wants to roll over and continue, short now in Gap and short in Delta. Delta's in the money, 66 cents. Gap just broke 2 seconds ago.
Yo, what up, Cameron? Welcome to the show here. I hope you're able to follow us. If not, you can rewind on Facebook on YouTube and be able to see what we've done to this market. Our profits are below, so it's been good. Okay, there we go. So we miss again, Gilead breaking back down. So it does break back down through this 82.50. Our order goes out at 82.40. Obviously, this stock moving a lot more to the downside right now. So we are going to have to get out of this one. Wow, Gilead just falling here. Maybe news on that, but I guess the market here coming back in for sure.
Yeah, these levels are pretty clean here. I mean, you look at Gap, it bounces off that 790 pivot point, and then it fails shorter than the high. Once it does, turns around on a dime. It breaks through that key price, and when it does, immediately slides through VWAP, and now retesting some of these lower levels. So we are short here in the money on this. Only two short positions. The first time we haven't had any longs in our position deck here. But Brendan, what do you have for us?
Not seeing anything on Gilead, guys, but yeah, market coming in a hurry here. Just wanted to mention DKS here, Dick's Sporting Goods, 3.5%, still in negative territory. They also came out this morning and withdrew their full year 2020 guidance, and also said that their current quarter is going to be really hurt, obviously, in the retail space, guys.
Dick's Sporting Goods, why not? We do have, we've been all over sort of looking at retailers. If you've been following along in the show for quite some time now, as I look at, I'm just going to go back to this Gap position because looks like it wants to stall out here, but only 15 cents in the money. That's how much we took on our first leg last time. It's not a bad place to see if we can't get a little bit of profit here. So we'll just dump a few shares and then throw to Valeria, who has a little something for us.
Hey guys, thank you very much for being active on the chat, for all of your comments and all of your questions. Also, some of you, for example, our friend Dax, saying that he's now on a quarantine and he cannot trade. But that's great that internet is open, so we can trade and you can look at us and stay safe at home. Well guys, hit more likes, subscribe for our channel, share our video, help our show to go to everyone's computer here. Back to you guys.
Yeah, the internet is open. So that's good.
Always.
Yeah, so we're glad that the internet's open for you guys today.
Shut that puppy down. We're in trouble.
But yeah, so right now we are rocking and rolling here. I'm waiting for McDonald's to break through this 142.80. If McDonald's can come back up here, I like this name today, up 3.7%. We'll take McDonald's to the long side, 142.80. If that does come through, I like that name here, guys.
Delta continues to slide to the downside, but you can see it cresting a little bit at that $23 mark. And I told you, if it broke this 23, that'll open the floodgates for us. Short here, 23.86. We'd like to see it get back down into VWAP. That'd be a tremendous opportunity for us. Gap, we're going to load back up. I still have that stop. I'm using that 790 as a pivot, so if it breaks back above, we'll just get out of that one. We did take some profit off for 15 cents. That's fine. We had those two short positions on, but I'm watching very closely. 23 even here on Delta. We take this one out. There we go. So we're $1 in the money on Delta. You can see it come back in, and I said if the futures roll over, we wanted a place to be short. It felt like this was the place to go. Everywhere else was a bad idea. I think this one, the airlines want to move up and make a double top when the futures roll over. Sign me up for that. We'll see if we can't take $1.50 into VWAP.
1882. Yeah, we're going to look to see if we can't get also downside on Uber. We should have shorted $20 there. Didn't even realize it went up that high. But now we're going to wait to see if we can break this 1880 mark on Uber, and then we'll take that.
I guess
short.
It's too much to ask for Lyft to have not moved.
32 million shares right now. Yeah, Uber and Lyft. Yeah, I mean sometimes they trade together.
Uber is up twice what Lyft is on the session right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
so
Uber's international. I think. So
exactly.
As it goes.
But look at this level here. You're seeing the same thing happen at 19 on Uber. You look over at the chart at Lyft, about an 1825, 1830. Look at this wall that we have, and each time it's bounced off of this 1820, it's gone half the move. So it goes $1.60 the first time. The second time it goes just under $1. If it does eventually break this, and the markets can roll back to the downside here, as we just couldn't break through that top. I gotta like Lyft short through 1820. I'll take a shot at this one. Because Uber is stronger, that's why I'll probably short Lyft on that kind of a break, but it could be the same type of trade.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to look for JP Morgan as a weak name here as well today. Still down on the day. Never got to positive. Well, maybe it did. It might have got to positive up here at $84, but it's faded back in here with this move in the futures. We could actually bounce a little bit here. So what is the level? We have a lot of different charts up here. So we're just looking. I don't know if you can see if we can get a different camera angle, but Neil and I both multiple different time frames, multiple different charts. There we go. Yeah, there's a good one for Neil. You can see. So we have about 3 screens each. Our trading one is the one, obviously, that you see. There we go. You can see. So we're looking at different time frames. I have a 12-minute, a 3-minute, a 1-minute, and a daily chart, as well as the futures chart. That's pretty much what we're looking at, and I make my plays on those time frames. So if you're interested in that, hopefully more to come on that. We'll have lessons and whatnot on our charting.
Just going to trail this trade here a little bit on Delta. Now that we got over $1 in the money, it got to about $1.20 or so. Once it hits around that target, I'm going to move this trail. We'll just use this little area here, and it's going to be 23 even. It just happens to be where it turned around on the bounce. That way we'll lock in, an 80 to 90 cent win in case it wants to come back. Nothing too scientific about it, but I do see sort of a mixed screen for once. It's good to see a sector watch board that looks like maybe it's not just one color. So let's throw to Brendan for our sector watch.
Yeah, finally a little bit more normal action going on in the markets today, which, as Neil was mentioning, good to see. About 0.5% only in negative territory here for the S&P. So let's figure out why. We have energy stocks jumping right off the page here as very, very strong. Obviously, big jump, 9%, 8 to 9%, depending on when you looked at it for crude oil today. So a lot of these benefiting from that. Noble Energy here, NOV and OKE, all more than 13 to 20% in positive territory. SLB and MRO, there's MRO, 11% as well in positive territory among the leaders for the energy group, but very, very strong. Material stocks also bouncing back today. Mosaic here, 17% to the upside. CE, 15%. We have Dow, there's Dow, 9% in positive territory. LYB, CF rather, and AMCR, all about 10% to the upside as well. So if you're looking for strength, energy and material stocks, some of the consumer discretionary names also giving you a little bit of a buying opportunity. Expedia here, mentioned that one earlier, 15% leading the group to the upside. L Brands, Ulta Beauty there, TSCO as well, 9.25% to the upside. So the retail names, some of them are in positive territory. KMX, GPC, JWN there, still more than 3% to the downside. Services doing quite nicely today. I mentioned all the hotels, basically some of the airlines as well, back in positive territory. MGM, big move, 17% to the upside. There's Wynn as well. There's Starbucks, Marriott, LVS, all nicely in positive territory today. Tech shares, individual names, it looks like the semis are strong down here. We have software names, some of them doing well. DXC and FTNT, 10% plus, but then you look at a PayX here, 7.6%, BR, FLT, all about 6% to the downside. So individual names in the software group in positive territory. Just want to mention this group over here. Some of the food names we were talking about yesterday, CAG was one of them, very positive, back to the downside today, but it's hard to see, but TSN way over in the corner there, about 7% to the upside. So individual food makers in positive territory. Real estate stocks, mentioned that VICI, VTR, SPG, and WELL, all more than 18%. I got to look at that VTR, 32% to the upside today. Some of the real estate investment trusts have been the hardest hit stocks over this 2-week period. So back to the upside today. Utilities as well, providing some negativity. Overall, yeah, pretty mixed right across the board. 0.4% to the downside at this point for the S&P. Let's go back to Neil.
Thank you, Brennan. Couple of things to recap. I talked about trailing on Delta there. We did have that short at 23.86, looking for the VWAP retracement, but it goes back above that 23. So, we'll lock in about 80 pennies. That's fine on that trade. We broke back above on Gap very briefly, so flat trade on that 790. But I was just having a look at what is a completely insane a name here. Guess. I mean, this has just been all over the place, and it's had a halt here to the downside. And look at the response. It comes off of a $6 move down to 530, halts, and then puts in a $1 range after it reopens. So much for trading halts, decreasing the volatility on reopen. I'm looking at this one saying we're up 50% on guess. We had some success on taking some shorts in front of those tops once it looks like it wants to come back in. 613 is the high. You can pick this one up to the short side around 580. I might take a shot fading this one, but just watch out because the volatility halt to the upside is about to come almost any second now, as it just made a move from 490 to almost $6.
Okay, we are long. Yeah, guess. I mean, I hate the retail space, and we'll talk about that. Macy's is a good one that I like to trade. Right now, I am liking JP Morgan. We're 40 cents in the money. We take a long breaking through 82 right now, so we're long right now 82.05. So that's 40 cents here. If the market rebounds, I think we could definitely get $1 out of this one. So JP Morgan in that name right now for hopefully once again another big winner. But we're just going to wait to see on that one. Obviously, the market has faded back through here. Let's check out Facebook for once again another big run. Wow, we get in and then we get out right there before it makes a move back to 159. Holy crap. This might be a nice little spot to get long again here on Facebook, or we just wait for 155. We're going to take a bigger look at that in a second. We just triggered into long McDonald's as well. Brendan, what's up?
Talked about the relative strength, guys, in Zoom over this very, very volatile period. We're right back up to almost all-time highs here for ZM. Another 5.25% today. Nice little pullback underway back to 124 for ZM, guys.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, Brendan. Just having a quick look at Marriott here. So again, another name in the travel space. I was looking at Delta, the airlines, but in the travel space here, coming off the top. I mean, it made a move $20 to the upside and now starting to come back in. I look at this retracement here at 69. I like this on a break, which is happening right now at 66. We just went. We did not get triggered in. So we're sitting there. in front of that 66 area. I like this one in this price range, somewhere around a 67 entry. So we'll slip into our first shares here. If we continue this move, VWAP would be $62. That'd be a $3 move here. So we're using our stop at 69. We'll give this one some more. I want to be an adder at 67.50, 68 or so to the short side. The market came back in after resisting that top, so a couple of pullback trades are in the cards for me here. This one, Marriott, we just did Delta as well.
Yeah, we're long two names, and I'm looking at that ZM right now because it has made a bottom here at 123.50 or so. So, this may be a nice little launching spot to get going again up a clean $2. So we're going to wait to see. That's $2 away is the high. But right now, the only trades I have on is this McDonald's 142.90. That's flat right now. Well, now in the money, but who cares? And our JP Morgan, you guys know that, 82 even. So it's 10.50 now. We're going to come up to trade of the day soon, and then we're going to follow that with hopefully a rune will come through, and it should be good. But definitely, why don't you throw? You got to throw the profits.
I was about to say the overall market here in oil holding up pretty nicely. We had a dollar move to the upside here. We're about at 23 now. I was actually just looking at a name you wouldn't be familiar with, Petrobras over in Brazil, which was very, very volatile in yesterday's session. So if you're trading any of these oil names, watch for a potential break through this price. I mean, we got about a 20, 30 cent range in crude oil contracts at the top, which leads me over to an XOM, which is holding basically positive, barely positive on the session right now. If we get any kind of break through the top, this would be a nice place to go long around 33. So watching crude oil, we do have Marriott to the short side right now at 66. That's the only trade that we have on, and we are also having a quick look at that guess, of course. We want to see if that one takes off the top. We're not going to get into a trade in this one because it is very, very close to possibly getting another halt. If it breaks the top, you could be looking at another volatility halt. That would be very, very bad timing to enter a trade. However, if it resists and starts to come back in, as you can see it's doing right now, I want to jump very quickly into a short position.
We are ready now for one of, a segment that we probably don't do enough, but it's talking about currencies, Forex, and whatnot. Let's give it to the big screen with Brennan and Money Talks.
Yet another day of very volatile action in the currency markets once again, guys, as well. Have a look at the yen. I mean, this is pretty impressive. From a bottom of 102, we're all the way back to 110, which was a significant level over this entire year. This is an hourly chart, so going back to December, in fact, 110. Basically where the sell-off started for the yen. Bank of Japan buying 200 billion yen worth of stock on the exchange over the past couple of days. So that's kind of helped recover this currency, even from 108 here, a nice little break above a high up to 110 for the yen. Big move higher. The euro, not so much, to the downside again today, 107 and change, 108 now, but a full percent to the downside for the euro. Some USD strength coming back into play. Our Canadian dollar was negative earlier this morning. Oil coming back to the upside, helping the CAD. 68.9 now for the Canadian dollar versus the US. The pound is also higher today. Swiss franc higher. I mean, basically right across the board here. Australia, Bank of Australia coming out talking about some aid coming as well for their currency. So 58.5, 58 for New Zealand. Crypto's at the bottom here, having a nice bounce back day to the upside as well. 9% in fact. For Bitcoin, back to the upside to 58 and change, 127 for Ethereum, about that same 9% mark for Ethereum, guys. So wild ride on equities, wild ride in the currency market still as well. Back to you.
The man with the best name is back in the chat there. Acid Tooth, welcome to you back. Glad to see you in. I'm tracking Marriott here. We are looking at a bit of a retracement. We have 66 short, looking to see if it can take out this level right here, 64.40. This is where it bounced back before getting to the 72 high. If it does that, we'll see if we can't get it out around 63. So that's one short. I'll give you another one, and that's going to be guess. And I talked about the very, very particular conditions in which we'd need to take this one to the short side. It just broke below $6, but it's SSR. So right. I'm basically crossed down right now trying to pick up shares all the way to 590, but all that's going to do is rest on the offer, and it's going to take an uptick for me to get in. I didn't want to fade into this trade because if it took off the top, I could get short into an immediate halt, which I'm not doing on a name like this. We'll see if we can pick something up here on guess, and I can show you everyone piling in, trying to get this offer. You can see it loading up. That's because when it's short sell restricted, nobody can actually sell to this buyer until we get a green tick, an uptick. So unfortunately, we can't really do much with this except try to get the short.
So right now, we lose on McDonald's here. We tried to defend that 142. Looks like it falls through, and that's going to be a loser. So we turn our laugh into an evil one. We still have some shares on. But look at JP Morgan here. This is 82.05. So we lose about 50, 60 cents on McDonald's. But right now, JPM, we're long 82 even. It's at 82.70. So, some, would take a 70-cent winner here. I think maybe I should take out half. That's 70 cents in the money now. I was only hoping for 83. So as the market tries, I think I will take off some profit here on our JP Morgan. A nice little 70-cent winner. So although there are no Blue Jays, the home runs have been
It's going to be a long time before we see
I don't even see any home runs
them
on it.
again.
I don't even know where that thing went. But
I got to clean that board up again because I couldn't find that dead cat bounce this morning.
The home run. There it is.
A lot of setups looking very, very similar to this one. I'm looking at FedEx here. That'll be the culprit. 10% move, but look at this range here between a 111 and this 107 mark. I think it's going to break, and when it does, the market trying to roll to the upside here. We finally get into that guess position. So short now at 591. We'll use the high of the day as the out. So it's going to be a relatively tight stop and guess because 613 is the top. You're only risking about 20 cents. If it rolls over, you can make $1, I think, on this one. I'll get that stop order in to make sure we don't miss. That's locked and loaded, ready to go. But FedEx, I was mentioning, a 111 break possibly, but to the downside, it'll be 107. You can do what's called a bracket. We do it manually here. You can have a stop on either end. That's when it breaks out of the range. You get in the short on the low end, the long if it breaks the top.
Neil's talking about hopefully getting $1 on that one. We have $1.30 right now on JP Morgan. We take out 70 cents there, and now we just keep going to the upside. I hope you guys are following the trades today because it's just continuing to be a booming day for me. $1.13 now in the money on JP Morgan. Look at this little take right here, 82 flat. Now we start ripping up 80. Okay, it's disco time. This is $1.40 now in the money as we continue to go upside on our friend JP Morgan. Look at the futures go $1.50 now winner for you. Here we go. These are trades we have on. We take these winners. We take out half for 70 cents. This is a nice little spot right here, 83.50. Maybe we'll take this out, celebrate this win. But there you go, a smooth $1.50 in about 10 minutes for you. Once again, guys, you are welcome. Don't get slaughtered. $1.50, sorry, $1.70 right now. Don't get slaughtered. Take out some profits, guys.
Yeah, and watch Starbucks here as the market tries to come back up. Watch Starbucks as it's making a similar play that we just looked at in FedEx, and if it breaks this top, and it just did, we'll grab the long, same setup as we just looked at in FedEx, this time through 59.50, and we'll grab that long, see if it can't retrace to the top, as it looks like the market wants to make another run at that high. Let's see if it's successful. If it is, I think we have a target of 61 that we can get to on this little long here in Starbucks.
So we did get flushed out once again. This has happened to me too many times today, but whatever. Our net is just still continuing to go. Here's the two positions. Bang! There's $1.40 on McDonald's. This is what we're talking about. Look at my McDonald's price. 142 even. It's at 143.50 right now. Look at the JPM price. 82.05. It's $1.70 in the money. So, you guys want dollar winners. Here's two of them for you. JPM, we're long at 82.05. It's at 83.80 right now. Here's McDonald's. We are long right down here, 142, and it is at 143.26. So back-to-back jacks. Unfortunately, it breaks out down here at 142, or else we would be absolutely destroying McDonald's, but we'll just take the win. These are $2 winners plus right now on board. Doesn't get much better than this, guys. There
and here comes that move that we just got the break. We add to that position in Starbucks. When you do a trade like this, usually what your risk structure is going to be, you're going to look at that bracket that you had, and then you're going to give to the bottom end of the range on that trade. So that's what we're going to work with. But we got to go over to that guess, because if you're going to short a name that has made a move like you've seen in this stock, when it takes a top off, you're not going to want to get blown out here. So you can see if it takes a 620, we should be out of that one relatively quickly. And there you go. If it makes another leg to the upside, I'm actually not sure why it didn't halt on this move, but it should have halted there ultimately. I'm not sure why it didn't, but it just made a $1.50 move from bottom to top. This is why it was worth it to risk about 20 pennies on that one to the short side. But again, I'm not usually going to take it until it starts to roll over. You can see it coming back down. You grab the short, finally get in, and there it goes to the top. So guess somehow defying my expectations and being very, very strong with this market today.
Guys, JP Morgan, $2 now in the money. We still have half. We are ready for Valeria. Let's go.
the European update. Well, Britain is up 0.45% today. Germany is down 0.3% today. France is up 0.14%. Spain is up 1.3%. And Italy is up 1.41%. Well, some news from Europe. France and Italy might stay for the lockdown longer. Also, Bank of England announced further rate and new bond buying program. European Central Bank is announced an emergency package worth $850 billion. That's all for today. Back to Brandon.
Hey guys, yeah, 11 o'clock, time for trade of the day. We're going to have a bit of a review session here for one of the trades that either Neil or Sean took in the pre-market this morning. Going to be Sean today reviewing one of his trades. This is kind of, one of those segments where we go back and have a look at the whys and the hows and the wheres and what levels we were looking at and how we executed and things of that nature. So I'm going to talk about Microsoft. Typically, a stock that you'll see Sean trading all kinds. Let's figure out why. Here's Sean over at the TV with Microsoft. Trade of the day.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, I have a $3 winner on right now on JP Morgan long $82, so hopefully you guys have that as well. This actually turned out to be $9, I think, top to bottom here. And I think the key about this one is I'm not going to spend too much time here. More time I spend here, the less opportunity to trade. So we'll talk about this real quick. Look, Brendan hit the nail on the head. This is why you guys were asking the pre-market stocks we liked. It was Cisco. That was wrong, but although it's still a winner. Microsoft is one that I was loving. We loved it through 140. I talked about that level. So when we got an opportunity to buy it down here at 138, it just seemed easy for me. This is what you have to do, guys. Look at names you're comfortable with. Yesterday, Uber was my trade of the day. We took multiple dollars on that one. I tried to get the 17 long on Uber today. That trade missed, unfortunately, but you saw that go all the way to 20. So we're very comfortable trading some of these names. We let it all settle down. We don't get in right away. It's pretty choppy off the open. We wait until we make a bottom. And if we look over here, it's kind of this pre-market level, 138. I love to defend those kind of levels. Let's run the first clip. At 139.24, maybe we'll put a little bid here on Microsoft, see if we can't get some shares there. But okay, so my mistake, it's actually 139. So there we go. We're talking about that. We see it drop down, Brendan, a clean $2 or $3. I say no mas to that. We wait for the bottom. We get out. That was my out, was going to be 138. So we give the trade $1. You want to take a couple hundred shares, you got to understand your risk. Obviously, on the pop back up, you're about to see what happens. But Brendan, wait for it to fall down. Pick a falling sword here, but just make sure that it's a stock that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, even dollar level there coming into play, obviously, at the very bottom of that move. So we do get a little bit of a washout in some of these names right across the board. Apple had the same kind of move to the downside before ripping back higher, but it was interesting to see how quickly the buyers kind of stepped in and took these things back to the upside. Let's have a look at the next clip.
Are destroying this market, guys, right now. This is a $7. Peter, you want me to take a $7.50 winner on Microsoft? I don't know. We'll see here. I'm going to put a stop breaking back down below 146. We will capture that $7. Oh, and by $7 right now, I mean 8. Here we go, straight to the moon. Okay, so we're throwing cash everywhere. If I had any in my pocket, I'd throw it right now as well. But here we go. Peter asking on the chat, when do we get out of this Microsoft trade? Also, do not have heart attacks. So here you go. This is where we started talking about it. It was $6, it was $7, it was $8, almost got to 149, which would have made a clean, oh, it did get there, almost a $10 move there. You do see we took it out for $2 initially, so we were only holding about a quarter of our spot up here. Wah, wah. We would have loved to hold more. But this is where stop orders become key. So I talk about making sure that we put at least that $6 in our pocket. So we watch it bounce back and forth. That's why I put this line here. Again, using very key even dollar levels, super important for me. We put the stop in, and sort of a good thing that we did. Obviously, when we get triggered out, you're going to see it goes back up about 50 or so cents, but we don't have to absorb the loss. Let's see the exit. We'll talk about it, then we'll run back over to the trade. Microsoft right here, guys. As we're talking, we'll talk about that right now quickly. You have to have a stop out, so we get out of the last third all the way down here at 146. Obviously, we give up the ghost up here at 148. We were trying to let that run. It was a $9 winner, so sorry about that, guys. Just $7.50 right there for the win, but we get out on that break. Look, I was trailing this stop all the way down. We put it for 146. It was at 144. Then we changed it to 145. Then we changed it to 146. That's your out, and more to come on this one later, I promise. There you go, Microsoft. Yeah, my mistake there. Sold myself short. It's a $7 winner. This is 146 and this is 139. So right there is a $7 winner on the last bit of shares there. We talked about the trail. That's exactly what we did. We just kept trailing it $1 there. Unfortunately, though, we didn't put the trail up here. I wish we would have. Then we would have got out 148, 147. But we'll take 146. Look, check the profits below. That's an accumulation of all of the trades. So you're going to see Microsoft up monstrous today. But that's the trade. Facebook could have been the trade of the day. I don't know what the market's doing right now. It looks like it's probably fading back in. I'm going to go check out my JP Morgan trade. Throw it to Brendan.
Yeah, coming back to the downside here a little bit. I think the most important point here to make, guys, is simply in a market that you're not comfortable with, you got to go back to some of the stocks and some of the stock or the trade setups that you are comfortable with. So whether or not those have to do with stocks that have fresh catalysts of whatever source, doesn't really matter. So Microsoft, really no news other than sector related this morning, but a stock that Sean obviously comfortable trading with. So you got to go back to with what you're comfortable in a market that you might not be. So let's get back to the trading and back to the markets. Microsoft, your trade of the day today.
And as you might have heard Sean just mention there as he ran back over, the market coming back down a little bit. We did have that Marriott position on. You sort of see that same stair step off of that top at 72. We first got into position at 66. And then right here off of the level we're using, that was that 68.50 or 69 area, sorry. We got in at 68. We got in again there at 68 when it started to roll back over itself. So it came back and we took some profits for about $1 overall. And then we took another leg out there for $1.50. We still have a third of this position. It's $1 in the money now, our best price at 68 even. Still looking for that VWAP retracement. However, I will now move my stop to break even. Once I've taken a few legs off, I'll usually do that. So I'm no longer going to give it all the way to 69, as I will adjust my stop to exactly at that 68. The last third will be a break even minus slippage, meaning I intend to put a stop at 68. When it breaks that price, I'll probably get something, 20 cents higher. That's what we call slippage in the market.
Yeah, and we come back here to more cash. So JP Morgan, I just put it in the chat there. We're long 82 even right here. What a great call that was. Obviously, we took out half for 75 cents. Blah, blah, blah. I said pigs get slaughtered. Yeah, I should have been a pig there. All the way up to 85 and change. We go to our trade of the day. It breaks the day's high. I probably would have got out around here, 84. So that's where my stop is going to be. We did talk about that. We're not taking $1. We're taking $2. So we have a $2 winner right now. Well, it's $2.50 in the money right now. We're going to wait for $2 winner on that one. And here's another ho-hum dollar winner right here on McDonald's. So we're going to see if we can hold this one all the way back. We're long McDonald's, 141.99. So this is $1.10 in the money, and our JPM is $2 in the money. I'm exhausted, but at least today it's been a banner day. The profits are just going crazy here. I hope you've enjoyed the show, guys.
Just looking at Domino's Pizza here, nice little move to the upside, 8% move. So participating very well in this market, but same sort of a consolidation look. However, a little bit weaker when I just looked at what Marriott was going through. And watch out for this 310 level here. It's sort of the same bracket thing, but it's a $10 consolidation range in Domino's. What that probably means is if you actually take a breakout trade here, you're risking $10. So if you're looking at one way or the other, I would probably look at this and say, I need to have a directional bias that allows me to get it in the middle, so to save a bit of money there. If you like the long, then you can take it maybe in the 315 range. If you like the short, you risk to that 320 and you're grabbing it, at 315 or so. That's a little bit better of an idea for me, but I already have a short on in Marriott. It looks pretty good, $1.35 in the money. Ultimate target, and I will go back to this one. Remember, we have already taken profit in this one, so as much as it could go 2 and it might go 3, we've already sort of taken a small amount off for what was already $1.50 and a couple of dollars here. I'm looking for a retracement into 63 at VWAP. That'd be a $5 win. And again, even though I'm risking to break even on these shares, you got to keep in mind the original trade was risking $1 or so to get those profits. So that's the structure of this one. Marriott short. I do like the look of Domino's on a breakup, but remember that's a $10 consolidation range.
Yeah, Neil's great analysis there on Domino's. And meanwhile, we just have, another hammer getting dropped right now. McDonald's is now a $2 winner. So McDonald's long 142. Here it is at 144.20. Did I say $2? Why don't we throw some more cash around? How about $2.25 winner right now? Look at this McDonald's long. Unfortunately, we did get out of half-town here when 142 broke, but we do re-up that spot, and now we have a $2 winner on McDonald's as well. Probably take this one out. The day just keeps getting bigger and better. We end the day at 12 o'clock, so there's a lot more to come here. Thanks for supporting us.
Just under an hour.
Hit everything. I'm exhausted right now, but the show must go on.
Looking at the airline space, guys, we've already done pretty well at Delta one time, and I'm just looking at United here as well. Back into negative territory. You're starting to really calm things down in the overall market. We're basically sitting in a tight range, and that's why you see a lot of these stocks not moving in the last half an hour or so. For me, I'm short biased, and that's just how it's going to be in the airlines until you see definitive action on some kind of a package, and we can assess that. We need to see hard news, and I'll probably be selling any kind of a bounce here. But I have to look at this level at 2140. If we roll back to the downside, I'm going to be shorting this one using that as my stop. So let's look at look at this bottom here, 2175. We'll throw a stop down there. We'll have a break even. No, sorry, 2140 stop on the top side. So that's how much we're risking as the futures look to continue this rollover. Brendan, what do you got?
A little penny stock, guys, just halted. Worth mentioning here, NBY in the pharmaceutical space, 242% to the upside. Just broke $1 on Monster volume. Moving higher. They reported full year earnings that beat, obviously, in that kind of vaccine-ish space. So NBY moving higher, guys.
And we'll do the cash again. Why not? For McDonald's, we get out 142.40 there. 143.40 there, capturing that smooth $1.50. We do not hold it through this break. I love getting out to 50 cents. I hope you just saw that on our trade of the day. So there we go. Traces back down. We save ourselves a smooth 70 cents right there. Get out. McDonald's for the win. It's not a nothing burger. It's a Big Mac. Big time winner right there. Just enjoying this day. Neil, you said not much moving the last little while, but the bank's moving like crazy. This is a $3 winner. Was a $3 winner on JPM. Now only $2.50. And then there's that McDonald's $1.50.
I was basically talking about the futures. The futures.
Not moving.
I mean, Marriott's made a big pullback here. So I mean, this is moving, but $2 on this stock. Remember, Marriott's traveled $20 on the session. So this is the reason I'm not taking $2 on a $68 name is because it's got so much more room to fall. And once you're playing with house money on your initial trade, you do look for that bit of a home run idea there. And it's been the same thing in a lot of these stocks. And this is what we were talking about just a second ago with UAL and AAL. So I mean, this is why on a name like this, I'm going to wait for it to break out of this range and then look for it to go. So whether it's 2140, which is approaching now, or whether it's going to be that 2175 to the downside. And there it goes to the upside, breaking the top off here in UAL. This could make a tiny little leg move here and you're making 50 pennies and it doesn't even go very far. So this is what we talk about when volatility jumps up. It doesn't take much for you to get some nice wins here. A $20 name here, we're already in the money, about 25, 30 cents or so, which usually would be a good move on United. Yeah, good job there, Ken Lin. You want to hit some home runs, Neil talking about looking for a home run. Here's one right here, $3.50 winner, JP Morgan, long 82. We are now back to the high of the day. We have this position on right now. 82.05 on JP Morgan. Today we have destroyed Microsoft.
We took down Boeing. We took down Facebook, huge. We took down McDonald's. We're taking them all. Gilead. I mean, look, it just keeps going. The only negative stock, wham, wham, Baba, and then this stupid IFMK. This is what you were talking about. I'm going to call up.
Seconds ago, we were just telling you guys about the break and that little nothing burger that was happening in
$4 winner.
We get the breakout through that top. You're instantly at 22. So you break 21.40. You're at 22 in basically a heartbeat. You take a quick 50 cents on the first half. Now you can let the other half try to run back to the high of the day. And this is what we talk. This is why we talk about consolidation.
That's what we're doing.
In a volatile market, you know it's not going to hang out there forever. You get a tight range on a stock that has a $5 range on the day. That is a 25% range on United Airlines. It's not going to sit there moving 40 cents for more than half an hour. When it breaks out, it's lots of profit to be had. We'll hang on to the second half, go break even, stop on the rest, and see if you can't get a dollar move out of it.
Yeah, a dollar would be good on that stock. Obviously, here's $4 on JP Morgan. So hit the cowbell there. We're going to wait. It just keeps bouncing off this high. We're going to get out probably if it breaks back down below 85 for the one last time here, and we'll celebrate $3. But if it breaks 385, that will be our out there on JP Morgan. I'm tweeting all of these trades out there, getting some love on Twitter as well. Thank you to everybody there. Follow us on Twitter. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Neil, why don't you get those numbers ready? Again, we can show them. For the company.
We're just going to show you guys how profits have been going throughout the company. And again, there's lots of ways that we do like to look at this. I'll show you the top traders, and what it's going to show you is obviously their P&L. These are top 10 traders that day trade the world. It's also going to show you which markets they traded. So the breakdown of where the money's coming from, which is fantastic. Number one, $341,000 out of the Amex, formerly the Amex, NYSE America. I know we tend to call it by the old name. We're creatures of habit here. But number two, $281,000 trading New York, NASDAQ, and the Amex. And then number three, $267. Number four, $246. Number five, $180. You got to go to number seven for the last six-figure trader at $152,000. And then you get some of the European numbers coming through. Some traders trading across the board in Europe, Eurex, Madrid, Russia, Switzerland, Turkey, Vienna, able to take $6,000 out of that market. So tremendous numbers being made. The other way we like to look at it is the top individual trader by market, and you can see traders making 5 figures all across Europe. Germany 1,600, Stockholm 13, Brazil 16. So that's big numbers coming out of Brazil. You don't see us trade that very often. Toronto, someone pulled 34,000 out of this. The numbers are all over the place here. Look at this in the futures, and that's the Chicago futures. $70,000 someone was able to pull on a single session. So across the board, big numbers being made in the company, and you can now see where that breakdown is.
Yeah, and it just keeps going here. We're going to have more and more guests for you next week. JP Morgan comes close to that 85 break. We're going to wait to see if that does happen. But right now, JP Morgan teetering down for a ho-hum $3 winner. But right now, $3.50 in the money. Brendan, we don't need more winners, but we do need more stocks.
I talked about this one a little bit earlier, guys. Slack Technologies just broke this 21. Just wanted to mention 21 up here. Big time level on the daily chart. You can see with support for most of the year, in fact. So we're back to that 21 area. If we can get above that, start to hold, might be worth a look, guys, for work.
I actually really like Slack here. That's going to be a good long-term buy, guys.
Just a quick, you talk about Slack. I like Zoom. It's been on a bigger run, obviously, so it's a bit closer to some highs here, but it is making another march to that high of the day. It's been cresting on it the entire time. And if you're looking for stocks that can probably sustain a move through the top, you look at those stronger names as the market is trying to get back up towards that 7,400 and the NASDAQ, which has been the high. And as I look over here, the ES about 30 handles away or so from that 2420 session high. So Zoom at 127.50. That looks like a breakout potential price for me, but when I see a double top like this, which is lower, I'm usually thinking about fading it. That's a structure that I like for a trade. So Zoom for me, despite being bullish on it, right now is presenting me with a short opportunity in and around 126.50, and then using this 127 double top area as an out. You're only risking about 50 cents. There's about $2 to $3 worth of upside in this trade. If the market rolls over and it's getting sleepy, you have a nice little win for you, not risking much.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is about the risk-reward potentials. Netflix, a big move here. They have that community viewing thing.
Oh, boomer,
The wife told me about that yesterday. Should have bought Netflix. Great idea. You can now have Netflix viewing parties with your friends. It's a fantastic Chrome extension.
Great idea.
Great idea by Netflix, up 7%. I'll be buying some of this in my own account after the show, but we are once again ready for, I think it's everybody's favorite time. So if you know that I'm looking for something, and there it is, it's the Valeria Batman, and we're going to go to her at the big screen.
Hey guys, well, coronavirus is keep spreading rapidly around the world. Italy has the most cases outside China with 35,000 plus cases. Well, the virus hit the economy of country very hard as well, with its blue chip sector falling 23% over the past week. The country is on the lockdown right now, but despite sickness and fear, there are some good consequences out of the lockdown. Well, due to minimized use of water transport, water in the Venus canals became much more cleaner. You can see fish, and also they say that swans are swimming in the canals. Also, now as it's locked down, people cannot leave their apartments in Italy, but they have a great spirit, and I wish to the whole world to catch up on Italy. Well, there are lots of videos on the internet where Italians are singing and dancing on their balconies. So I want to show you a video of some Italian blog where they dancing a Macarena dance. Amazing. So I wish you all that spirit, and let's not give up. It's all okay. We'll all be fine. No panic. Well, now let's go to some news from scientists. They found out that the virus can stay alive up to 3 days in the air, up to 3 days on the plastic, up to 3 hours in the air, up to 3 hours on the plastic, up to 4 hours on the copper, and up to 24 hours on the cardboard. Well, that's all for today. Stay healthy and stay focused. Back to you guys.
And very quickly, we come back here and we talked about consolidation in some of these names. United Airlines, we did take that breakout. 2140. This is a trade where I literally would have taken it in either direction. I almost didn't care, to be honest with you. I just see that tight of a range. I see a $5 range on a $23 stock. I think we can rip something off out of it. We do take the long at 2140. We take the first out here, right where it consolidated on the way down. That's a 50-cent win in front of 22 even. It then makes another stair step to the upside, and then we take a $1 win off on the second half. So the types of returns you can take on these moves, it's tremendous. And what's happening here is the market's not doing as much overall, but there's lots of names which are just going parabolic. And look over there at Twitter, making another run at the high of the day. So there's breakouts still happening despite the fact that we're starting to go to sleep in the overall futures.
Yeah, and I felt bad. I sold out of some of my Walmart yesterday, but I bought some Twitter, so booyah. Hopefully Twitter can keep going upside right now. I think Twitter's a great long-term buy at this level, so why the hell not? For the show, though, we go long here, breaking higher. Look, this is a little bit of a home run type play here. We're going to wait to see. It's getting a little greedy. We're already up 7.7%, and now we take the long. We're going to see, but guess what, guys? My JPM on that 85 break has now given me 85.80. So yeah, we go long that one, and that's a $4 winner. So yeah, we take off 70 cents quick for the first half. Now we're in a $4 winner on JP Morgan, guys. What's up, Brandon?
A DocuSign, guys. DOCU, big move here, 5.5% today. Was trying to test the 79, and then wow, big time buyer stepped up and took this thing right up above 80 again. A little thinly traded, but 5.8% to the upside for DOCU, guys.
Just hear some action on the floor there. It's talking about price controls. I don't know if that's the case. We talked about XOM a little bit, still battling from positive to negative, negative to positive. Looks like there could be a breakout in this name through 33.40, so very similar to what we were doing before. But I can tell you we did try another short, and this was not a breakout short. This was a short off this double top here, 127 even on Zoom. We do grab the short here at 126.35. It does break out, so you talk about being able to win 2 to 3 on a retracement. You're going to lose 70 cents there to risk it. So it would have been 3 or 4 to 1, but that short doesn't work out. Marriott, our last third of that one, we'll recap that trade. I know we didn't do it when it happened. You might have heard me bang the table. If it did roll over, we thought we had a big time opportunity in the last third to get $5 out of it. Instead, you do see us take off some shares at 66.16 and then down here at 65.60. That's on a 67 and change short, so you do get a couple of bucks out of it. And then I move my stop to break even. If you keep your original stop, you might still be in the short, but for me, once you take a couple of legs off for profitability, you want to move that stop, slide it with a trailing stop, or just move it down. That's what I did here. Marriott now moving back to the upside.
Yeah, you guys checked obviously the trade of the day. That's what got me that $7 winner there, sliding back and forth. So you got to make sure that you can capture those profits for sure. I tried to buy some more Twitter down here at 23.60. Was distracted with JP Morgan, but now my bid's there to average into 23.60 on Twitter. Our long is right here. We're literally long at 72. Okay, here we go. We're coming back down. Maybe we get some more long here. Twitter looking to get some. We'll average out of this one at 23.50. But right now, small. Already, like I told you, this is a risky spot here. I'm running out of steam a little bit, as is the market, so we're not trying to hit too many home runs now, although you want a home run. I mean, I don't know, this is a $4 winner right now, so we pop a Willie for you there, Randy as well. Okay, JPM and Twitter. Twitter now a 5-cent winner. We're hoping that we can cash out half.
Oh, I hate this short sell restricted rule. I hate SSR, Sean. I hate the uptick. It makes it incredibly difficult to grab some of these shorts. You just saw a double lower high made on Dave & Buster's. You can see it reject at 10. It comes back in, rejects at 840, rejects it again. I chase it all the way from 840 down first to 806. Then again down to 796 and still cannot get shares. And now that it's already moved that far, you've missed so much of the move that unfortunately it's very, very tricky to get. Might have to fade into this one in front of that level, meaning put orders and catch it on the way back up. So as it rebounds with some strength, that's the only way we're going to be able to short Dave & Buster's up 60%. It has settled into a bit of a range. I do think a retracement is in play, despite the fact that the market is now moving again to the upside. So watch out. Zoom was very close to that top. That could break it.
Randy, you want another slap shot? Here we go. So right now we'll take this out just before 24. We'll take out of a little bit here our Twitter. I literally just gave this to you guys. So this is why I assume you're watching the show here for winners, and this is what this is as we continue to go to the top side right now. Oh, by the way, our JP Morgan now a $4.25 winner, still riding that, breaking through the high of the day. As Neil mentioned, the future's not at the high yet, but making a nice little move.
Trying to get there.
Here we go. I'm sitting right here. Come on, let's wait at 98. See if we get this on Twitter, and you will get your slap shot, Randy. And there it is. So once again, I provide that to you. That's a 30-cent winner there on Twitter. So we just took that on. 30-cent winner on Twitter, $4.50 winner right now on JP Morgan. And yeah, I guess I need to be upping my shares. What a crazy day. Check the profits below. It is what it is. That position's wrong. We are not short Twitter, but that will update very soon. Still long, 23.70 on Twitter. Ho-hum.
We did, however, I mean, this one isn't wrong. We did just take a trade as Zoom did break through the top there, but I also was looking at Uber, which just slid heavily off of its high, 21.26, so a bit of a pullback in for the first time, well, first real one, since making its second move off of 19. So Uber looking like it could roll over just a little bit here. I'm going to give Zoom to 126, but Uber at some point I'm going to try a short. If we reject in the futures here again, I'm going to try Uber in front of that high of the day. So we just had the Zoom long that we just took on the break, but I'm looking for a potential trade to the south side in Uber. Brennan, what do you have for us?
Let's move on to oil today, guys. Obviously back to the upside. A little one moving along with that. NGL Energy here, 91%. Nice bounce up to $3. $3 was the last kind of line in the sand here on the way down for this name. So we'll see what happens at $3. Might get some support, guys.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out. I'm also tweeting out the link. Obviously, if you guys are on here, you don't need to worry about that. But look at Twitter, guys. Break through 24, just continues to go up. So I am going to tweet out this winner once again, and it just keeps, guys. It just keeps going. I mean, this is why we do the show. I hope you guys enjoy this. Today's just been such a banner day, and JP Morgan 450 right now on the money. Everything continues to go. This has just been.
If they're going Zoom, try to get that leg through as the futures break that 2420 on the NASDAQ. We're going to watch there. If you are looking at the overall market, sorry, that's the ES. The NASDAQ breaking 22,7,400 even, so we're making another leg to the upside. We're talking about Horizon earlier. Hasn't made its negative to positive move, but it just is teetering, trying to break 54.32 will be positive on the day for I do like the look of this one. If we can take the top off, Zoom is all we have now in the money, 60 cents now, as it just broke that 127 even. You guys can't hear us?
Nope. It's good now.
No, okay, so, apparently we are good. So about to get this break
guy fainted. I don't know what that means,
in Verizon at 54.30. So that's about 15 pennies away from that break.
Yeah, and guys, thank you so much for giving that update. I mean, that's the thing. You know, if you ever see any problems, we are a little
let us know. We're watching the chat. So.
Okay, and again,
there we go.
The Bulls are in, guys. $5 winner on an $80 name. You're welcome. There we go. So that's a nice little profitable trade for us. Check all of the profits below. If it's your first time, you can see me and Neil, our trades going there.
Watch Zoom at this 128. Could be a second push here. We took 127. 128 about to be taken out. Big wall that we're looking at 128. Brennan, what do you have for us?
Lennar, guys, the name we were talking about, if you joined us right at the beginning of the show, home builder reported earnings up 14% now. Nice bounce a couple of times here at 31. Yeah, just broke 35 on Lennar. Everything to the upside, guys.
Yep, we're going to take right now 40 pennies on Twitter. Well, no, actually, I canceled it. We were going to be at 24.09 there ahead of some size at 24.10. But why would we only take 40 cents on a trade when this market is just ripping up here? 24.10 is the stop point here. I still have 2/3 of this Twitter trade on right now. This is a $5 winner. Also in JP Morgan, we let that keep running to the top side here as the futures are back. And it's just what a monster day for us here. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Hit that like, hit whatever you want, but here goes Twitter to the top.
So Dax, I know you've been following along a little bit here, but you know, usually on the floor we'd have like 25, 30 traders, but obviously under these conditions, it's a kind of a skeleton crew back there. You really just have maybe half a dozen or so sitting behind us. And then of course, the entire team, which is not the entire team, most of our team here. You do see Brennan and Valeria and a bit of a skeleton crew running our board as well. And of course, Sean and I are always going to be here every single day that the market is open. I don't think they're going to close that, despite all the rumors that you hear. The NYSE is closing its floor, but electronic trading next week, of course, will still be available. So we'll see how that affects the market. I think what you'll see is moves might be a little bit bigger, a little bit. If it's only electronic, you don't have the floor trading going on, I think we could see some good sustainable moves. So maybe we'll note that difference coming on Monday. But right now, I was hoping we'd continue the breakout. I was looking for Verizon to take this 54.30. However, we just stalled out at both the NASDAQ futures and at that same price. So not going to get that break. Still have my stop in case it happens, however. And Zoom comes back in. So we take profit on the first half. I just showed you the wall that was at 128, and this is why you take some profit off. I don't usually see that kind of size sitting on a level 2 on Zoom. This is level 2 we're talking about. That's the bid and the ask. I don't usually see that many on the offer. So when I see that and 7,400 on the NASDAQ, we'll take profit off and hang on to the second half, maybe give it to 126.
Yeah, okay. You know, JP Morgan, I did put my stop order at 85.50, but right now it just seems to want to run even more. So I probably put my stop back down here around 86. We'll think about getting out. Well, you know, I'm going to keep it at 85.50. So right down here, we'll make sure that we capture about 350 for you on that trade. Twitter, look at this. I mean, we still have a third on, but look at these outs, guys. I don't want to say that it was perfect, but there you go. A little bit of Street Fighter action right there. Get out of a third, and now we will drop the rest. I mean, that's a 40-cent winner here. We'll get out of the rest if it does break back down below 23.50, but no matter how you cook this one up, we're just on fire pretty much with every name, guys, today.
And we just trail out of that second half of Zoom, so you win on the first half. The second half, the key is make sure you don't lose as much as you won. That's always going to be it. So we're out on that 50 break. I want to go back to that Dave & Buster's. We still are looking for the break here potentially. It's now giving us an area that we can actually work into position. Now remember, we couldn't really get into this short when we chased it down. That's because it's short sell restricted, meaning we have to wait on the offer for an uptick. So when it sits there and consolidates, that's your best bet to get in. If you wait till it breaks to get down like we did last time, you're unable to get any shares. So we do work in here at 8. And we're looking at that 840 area. We'll see if we can't pick some more shares up if it creeps any higher. Otherwise, we do have this trade. If it breaks below this 760 mark, that's where you can get the flush, start working over a 50 cent to $1 winner on Dave & Buster's. It's done a $5 range. I don't expect it to put that in again. It did that on the way up with multiple halts. It's now calmed down a bit, so I think 50 cents is certainly reasonable on this stock.
Yeah, we did talk about throwing Trump up when that's ready. If Emma can confirm that, we'll put Trump on the stream and you can get rid of us. But right now, it's just been a cash money day. I don't need to tell you it. We roll the dice in the morning. This has been my biggest day of the month so far trading, and dancing gorillas all around. We will throw, oh, it's in the corner. Okay.
There you go. You guys see it?
You guys can see it right there. So there's Trump. I don't know what the point, I mean, it's almost like he's speaking. We should almost put it so we can get the audio there as well. But I'll leave that to you guys. We'll continue to trade. JP Morgan, a $4.30 winner right now. Let's see what else.
Well, like something he said. I mean, we just started make another run to the top there. I'll take that. And sort of waiting for Verizon to break that negative to positive. You just see it sort of take it right there. So we grab that long there at 54.30. I think this is one we can add to in front of that 54 even on a pullback. Again, looking to see if we can go and take the top off. I have a long and I have a short, but I think Dave & Buster's you put in a different category here because it's sort of moving to the beat of its own drum with the volatility that it has, whereas Verizon is more apt to follow the broad market. So I don't want to be too heavy in position when the president is talking, but I've been waiting for that Verizon break. If you look at it here since about 10:36, it's been an hour and now it broke to the top side, so I'm going to take that one.
Yeah, and we're still waiting. I mean, we're just chilling out in this bank, JP Morgan. We just did take some more shares. I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm taking shares here. We'll wait to see if 2350 breaks on Twitter. If it does, then ho-hum will be out. I'm not putting on big risk, but when the trades are there, we're going to try to make them. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what Trump is going to say. I think it's just coronavirus stuff, so not sure that's going to affect Twitter.
As
but
usual.
We did go long right down here, 2360, and there it is right there, a quick 20 pennies. So you floss that off. Hopefully you guys are with me on these Twitter trades. Just watch my trades as they flow through the bottom there, and we will continue to take profits for you guys and give you winners. Right now, $4.50 winner on board with JP Morgan. Actually, I'll put up, for those of you that are signing in right now for the first time, welcome to the show. It's been a banner day. Maybe I'll put the scoreboard up eventually, but here we go. This is the positions. These are the positions we have on right now. We're going to take this out. There we go. We get hit on Twitter right there. So a nice little 20-cent win there. Long Twitter, long JP Morgan. That JP Morgan is almost $5 now in the money as we sit on El Presidente. Let's get this market going, guys.
And United Airlines, I can't ignore this even if he's talking, but you get that top again, and I've been looking at that formation, that double top, so we grab UAL. In front of it, we got 23 even. You got a 23.40 top. We already took a nice dollar winner on it to the long side. Now it holds the high end of the range, so we're able to slap into the short side here and look for the same type of retracement trade. So as we get our stop order ready to go, just to make sure that we don't get blown off here right through the high of the day, we want to make sure that you keep your profitability. We use stops. You can always do this manually. You can look at the stock here and you can say, hey, when I see 23.40, I'll enter a buy order myself. When you're trading multiple names, that can be difficult to do. I do have 3 positions on. That's why we would go ahead and put a stop order in.
Yeah, wow, what a day, as I type that to some of our traders here on the floor. Yeah, Laura, a shout out from Laura giving me a message here. She loved that dead cat bounce, so you're welcome for that one. Thanks for including your cat on the show.
Why not? Little love.
Why not? I'll hit that for you. And for those of you that did not see it, I will
Laura Henschke from
find it
TMX.
at one point. Yeah, from TMX there. I'll find the dead cat bounce, but this is a kind of a fun one too. Don't count your chickens, but if you are long Twitter with your boy, then you might want to count your chickens right now, because here we go, just another swish winner for you. No Raptors, no hockey, no baseball, but the Grand Slam, slap shots, and free throws are being had right now as we go. Right now, 23.84. Look at this long. We just reloaded back up here, and now let's take it out for ho-hum. Just another 30-cent winner. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, just having a quick look. You can see Verizon taking its time to move to the upside, but it's a very clean break and it's not really going against you. We're looking for a run to this high of the day. You can see it here at 55. So my target, of course, is going to be a little bit shy of that. If it gets to about a 50-cent win, we'll take that one off. But it's been just such a clean move to the upside on that break. This is why I waited patiently for it and didn't mind taking it as the president was talking. The market is trying to break the high of the day. Every now and then you get that Trump bounce when he's speaking, even if it's not anything terribly groundbreaking or important. Maybe we'll get that. That'll be good for the Verizon long here. I do have to wonder if he says anything about the airlines, I would cancel my stop and immediately just get out of that trade. But there goes Verizon. Nice move to the upside. There was a futures taking out the top, so UAL, that'll be a WTF when you're short, but the long in Verizon is going to work out, so you have one trade you like long side, you have one trade you like short side, and the long is winning. That seems to be a theme today.
Yeah, winning. That's to say the least today. Check the profits at the bottom if you want to see some wins right here. There's a 40-cent winner right now on Twitter. And that JP Morgan, that's still $5 in the money right now, while $4.90 in the money on JP Morgan. And yeah, winners have been abound as the S&P now continues to climb higher. Look at the chat, guys. Look at the chat. I told you guys in the morning, someone asked what kind of a day is this going to be. I said a big up day. And look at the numbers. Look at everything. Here we go. Just continues to be rocking.
NASDAQ is 3.3 when the ES is 1.8. That's interesting divergence there.
That's why we
Verizon,
the NASDAQ names.
We talked about it here about getting out in front of that high of the day. So there you go. We just take that quick little breakout trade. It's just a high percentage move, so that's what we're going to do. And look at that. Look at that wick. We actually catch the absolute top of the move as it comes heavily back in Verizon. I might want to revisit that trade in front of 54 if it's going to pull back that violently. So nice little win over there in Verizon. We told you the structure of the trade. You had to wait an hour for that breakout, but it was a clean move to the upside that you're going to grab a quick 40 cents on a $50 name. And I still like this one. Probably if it pulls back to this 54 even range, we'll slide an order in there. Use VWAP as a stop. Seems reasonable to me.
Yep, and JP Morgan, I'm just talking about that as well. We're going to put a stop here at $86 to make sure that we capture a clean $4. So that's a nice little fireworks there. Twitter still going to the top side right now. It does go as high as 24. We take some out at 92-ish. Our long is 61. So like Neil was just talking about, here's a 40-cent winner on a $23 name as that continues to go. Oil looks like it's trying to come back a little bit. Twitter still up that 9%. PayPal, a nice little name today as well. I love PayPal. I did dump some of mine, though, at 105. This was my call for the year. Unfortunately, we got out of that one. We will look to reload. I did buy some Square yesterday at 34. Let's see where Square is today, 42. Every stock, I guess, today is up. We can check out Tesla. Here, I know Neil had a trade on Tesla through 400, I think it was.
The second one should have been the best one, but then we got stopped out on the way back in. Brutal out.
Yeah, that was that stupid 420 level.
I don't know why. It's Elon's fault, man.
I know. Now it's like in our head.
Easily. To be honest with you, every time it gets close to 420, all I think about is, key price level on Tesla. But either way, it is 1140 apparently, and that means we need to kick it to Brendan and start the wrap.
Yep.
Hey guys, there's a look at North American markets still holding up nicely right across the board here. You can see 1.6% for the S&P. The Dow is still lagging a little bit, 0.6% only. Look at tech stocks there, big time winners. 3% right across the board. The TSX in positive territory. Brazil, what a bounce back. That was down 7% at one point, now just 3% for Brazil. Bitcoin 10% now. Crude, big move, almost 20% back to the upside. The market kind of holding out here a little bit around the highs. Just seeing Trump talking about the possibility of even more aid on the way, or discussing anyways, even more aid. So we're actually going to jump into this press conference here real quick and see what our friend Mr. Trump is talking about.
As we can get it. The FDA has also approved compassionate use for a significant number of patients. You know what that means. We're also reviewing drugs that are approved abroad or drugs approved here for other uses. And, one of the things that I'm most proud of that I got was right to try. That's where somebody who's ill, somebody who's very sick, terminally ill usually, in past administrations, we signed this a year and a half ago. You wouldn't be able to even think about getting any of the drugs that may be showing great promise now. And they've been trying for many decades to get this approved. And it sounds simple, but it's not, because there's liability involved and lots of other things. And I was able to get it approved working with Congress, right to try. This is beyond right to try. What we're talking about today is beyond right to try. Right to try has been, by the way, a tremendous success. People are living now that had no chance of living, where we take treatments that would have to go through years of a process. And if somebody was terminally ill, and I would say, why wouldn't they be able to try this? They'd go to Asia, they'd go to Europe, they'd go all over the world to try and find something. Or some people, if they had no money, would go home to die. They'd go home to die. They had no hope. Right to try has been an incredible success. But this is beyond right to try. If treatments known to be safe in Europe, Japan, or other nations are effective against the virus, we'll use that information to protect the health and safety of American people. Nothing will stand in our way as we pursue any avenue to find what best works against this horrible virus. Now, a drug called chloroquine, and some people would add to it hydroxychloroquine. So chloroquine or hydroxychloroquine. Now, this is a common malaria drug. It's also a drug used for strong arthritis. Somebody has pretty serious arthritis. Also uses this in a somewhat different form. But it is known as a malaria drug, and it's been around for a long time, and it's very powerful. But the nice part is it's been around for a long time. So we know that if things don't go as planned, it's not going to kill anybody. When you go with a brand new drug, you don't know that that's going to happen. You have to see, and you have to go long test. But this has been used in different forms, very powerful drug in different forms. And it's shown very encouraging, very, very encouraging early results. And we're going to be able to make that drug available almost immediately. And that's where the FDA has been so great. They've gone through the approval process. It's been approved. And they did it. They took it down from many, many months to immediate. So we're going to be able to make that drug available by prescription or states. I spoke with Governor Cuomo about it at great length last night. And he wants to be right on the. He wants to be first on the line, and so I think that's a tremendous. There's tremendous promise based on the results and other tests. There's tremendous promise, and normally the FDA would take a long time to approve something like that, and it was approved very, very quickly, and it's now approved by prescription. Individual states will handle it. They can handle it. Doctors will handle it, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be great. Then we're quickly studying this drug, and while we're continuing to study it, but the studying is going to be also done as it's given out to large groups of people, perhaps in New York and other places. We'll study it there. There are promising therapies produced by Gilead, and that's remdesivir, and that's a drug used for other purposes that's been out and it's had very good results.
All right, guys, we'll continue to watch the press conference. Obviously, keep an eye on what is happening as far as what Trump is telling everyone. Obviously, some interesting developments as far as the possibility of drugs being successful in at least helping in the treatment of coronavirus. So we'll keep an eye on that. The market really not reacting too much as of right now. We're going to get into a bit of a review here. We're going to go back and talk about some individual trades that Neil and Sean took throughout the morning, talk a little bit about the whys and the hows and the levels that we were looking at to execute these trades on. The first one I want to talk about here is going to be Alibaba. We mentioned in the pre-market, Alibaba announced some new initiatives in an effort to expand their cloud support for companies to assist with more people working remotely over this time because of the coronavirus. So Alibaba, we were talking about, some stocks going green first and the possibility of this one being relatively strong. Sean, you had this one right out of the gate.
Yeah, I also have Gilead right now.
Yeah, Gilead just broke 85, just got 85.11 here.
We just heard him talk about something there. Trump mentioned Gilead. So now I talked about that yesterday. I talked about that a couple days ago. It was going to be some of these companies that are developed it. So right now we go long 85.25 right now on Gilead, making the move back to 86. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
trading back down. We don't have a lot of risk.
The problem is I didn't really know what he was saying there.
Yeah.
So it grabbed that 85 break long at 11s, able to take some out on the way up. It didn't get the second half out, and it's coming back heavily.
Now it just came back.
This is the risk that happens when the president's talking. Literally, about possible possible solutions, whether it comes in terms of a drug that's already out there that's for treatment, or whether it's an actual vaccine. Gilead in play for that.
Yeah, we're going long again here. Okay, Brendan, what was that stock again?
It was Alibaba.
Oh, Alibaba. Okay. Hold on a second. I just got to put my trades in here to make sure that we don't get stopped out here on Gilead. Okay. Yes. So Alibaba. Yeah, Alibaba was a missed opportunity. I mean, we talked about that obviously on the chat. Where's my Alibaba? Sorry, the stocks are going crazy here. 183 now. Okay, this was the missed opportunity. We loved Alibaba in the pre-market. I actually, Brendan, started getting filled in the pre-market. So that was a good little trade, I thought. Once the market opened up, we did boom up. We went to 181. Our longs were down here, 178, 180, 180.20. Our best out, 181.
Boo, Trump. Sorry, you just got a Gilead here with a huge move to the downside, guys. I mean, unbelievable. It just went from 86 to 82. I'm going to be stopped out very, very quickly. Huge move in Gilead. Yeah. Up on Trump when he first started mentioning it, and then all the way back down. Yeah, unfortunately, boo you, Gilead. There we go. We got in. Here's my executions. They're probably very similar to Neil. Yeah. In 85, in 84.20, a little bit out, and then now coming back down. So we have no idea what he's saying. If anybody, Valeria, anybody knows, type it into the chat. But right now, JP Morgan is going back to Alibaba, though. In the meantime, look, it cracked down. You have to have your outs. My out was 178, guys. That is what it is, Brennan. It did rip all the way back up. This is pretty much the exact move that we thought was coming. You get the move in the market. Alibaba, I love it for long-term investments. I love it right here at 184. This could be a good little move with the president just dropping bombs apparently right now. Not literal bombs, but he's dropping bombs on Gilead there. That was intense.
Verbal bombs. That's the word I'm looking for. You can see here, if we go over 185 again on Alibaba, I think you do get this run, but let's just wait. I don't need him to say anything about China. We don't need to put on any more risk right now. We still have a 44-cent winner on Twitter. We talked about that one. This is a great reload, and JP Morgan still $4.50 in the money. But Alibaba, Brendan, great for bringing that up. I know a lot of our viewers like it. Missed opportunity. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is what that is.
Yeah, I think the Gilead tie there, guys, they were talking about numerous trials underway, so numerous human trials underway, one of those possibly involving Gilead there. He's also talking about more aid. So they had that bill we mentioned earlier in the week that has gotten passed now. Now he's talking about even more aid for both individuals and businesses possibly to come. Neil, I'm going to come over to you next here. WTRH Waiters Holdings was among the biggest movers in the pre-market again today. This is day 3 or 4 for this thing to the upside, but what a reversal we had. I mean, great opportunities on the long side above the pre-market high. I mean, the short on this was even better, I think, all the way back down now.
I'm kind of kicking myself on that one, at least on the short side there, because my initial thought was shorting this one in the pre-market off of a 350, 355, 360 area. And it wasn't just that this was the high in the pre-market that got put in at 8 o'clock and that was up, up a tremendous amount. At the time, it was about 60% to the upside, and it was starting to pull back in and consolidate. It was also that there was just a tremendous amount of size selling at 345, at 350, at 355. There was all kinds of support in front of you, and we're able to get short at 336, get out at 318. We're able to get more at 350. Then we're taking those out for 330, 320. At one point, we scalped like over $1 on this name. And then we break out to the long side. I'm sitting here thinking, we break at 370. We're getting out at $4. I'm like, wow, we're making even more money on this stock. But I don't get back into the short. And so as much as it was a good stock today, I look at it retake those levels and give you 3, 4, 5 times worth the win the second time you look at the short. By that time, I was looking at some of the high-flying names instead of sticking to what was fantastic in the pre-market. But you look at that pre-market consolidation range. Once it breaks back down, you see it halt down here at $3. It retests that same 360 top that we originally liked to short. And you've got to revisit these levels after the open. You look at those pre-market trades, when it comes back in those prices after the open, they can be absolute gold. Instead of giving you 10%, that move gave you literally a 40% move to the downside, $1.40 on a $3.50 name. You just got to be able to jump back into it. I did not do that. Huge mistake for me. It even gave you a halt to trigger your mind saying, hey, look, jump back to the stock. It just halted on the volatility. So all kinds of reasons have gotten back in.
Massive range on this entire group today. I mean, that iFresh was another one that was all over the place. IFMK. Just watching, this is a representative from the FDA who is speaking right now, talking about the effectiveness of the restrictions that they've put in place so far. So if you're watching in the pip at the bottom there, that is who that is. Let's move on here. Neil, I'm going to stick with you. We were talking about video conferencing software in the pre-market. Zoom Media obviously has been incredibly strong over this entire move down in the market, continues to be that way this morning. Another one that's hasn't been mentioned as much, but Cisco web conferencing also getting some attention in this mess. Cisco was definitely relatively weak in the pre-market. Neil, you had a nice trade on Cisco.
Relatively weak, but it was one that we thought would participate well in a kind of a bounce, and sometimes it's about getting a good price, and we thought that that would be the case. I did like it. It made an initial flush in the market to the downside. When it bounces off of this pre-market low here at 36.16, at that point I'm thinking, okay, this is our opportunity to go long, pick it back up on the way up. When it retook the even $1.37, which was the middle of this little pre-market consolidation range, we grabbed the first long. We're able to scalp some out, and this was the whole plan going in. We wanted to scalp some out in front of that high and then look for the breakout through that pre-market top. So we get some profits on the long, we reload continuously at 37. We're basically taking 30 cent scalps over and over again. It then gives you this second flush. And when it flushes down here and fails to not to that pre-market low, but halfway to that 36.50, I'm all over that. We pick it back up on the way up. We get 36.5 to the long side. That time we're taking close to $1 win out, but we still haven't broken that pre-market high. We wanted that trade. We do grab the pre-market high trade. It looks like everything was going fine. We have 37.50 long. We put a trailing stop in when it goes in the money past 38 here, and the trailing stop was my death. I trailed it to break even instead of allowing it to retrace back into 37 even. You can see the result of that. You know, there's no perfect science to it, but I think a lot of times when a stock was relatively weak in that case, you have to give it a little bit more room to that major sort of a support area, consolidation area 37. If we do that, there's your move to the upside in Cisco with the rest of the market, that little $1.50, $2 that you're looking for. You put a trailing stop in, sometimes you lose out on the opportunity.
All right, I want to continue on the tech front here, guys. We'll shift over to Facebook. Sean, I'm going to come over to you. We were mentioning a number of these names in the pre-market. Facebook we didn't talk about. We mentioned Apple, Microsoft, some NVIDIA as well, showing a little bit of strength in the pre-market. A number of opportunities, obviously, to the long side on Facebook today. What was it about Facebook that you noticed off the bat that got you moving in that direction versus some of those other names today?
I mean, I just knew Facebook was beat down a lot, and I love that 140 level. And by the way, here goes Twitter right now. It's a 70-cent winner, and JP Morgan 5. But let's go back over to Facebook here quickly. This is the one that, this is very similar, Brendan. Look at this chart. This is exactly like basically my Microsoft trade. We waited. We got some key levels down here. It was bouncing off 145 one time, two times. Then we take the trade, and look, you got to hold this one against you. You held it against ourselves about $1. We took some out on that initial move, but then look at this 145. It gets escalated. 147 takes them out. 148 takes them out. Make a mistake there, then takes him out 154. So this was $9 winner to join the Microsoft $9 winner today. So a couple back-to-back jacks there. And look, Facebook up 7%. The market moved. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Here's the S&P 500, and we waited for this move to happen. We saw it fade back down. I'm a consistent bull. We basically although it made a lot of money short the last couple of days, but waited for this move. Bang, the futures go, and it's about picking the right stock. And I knew Microsoft, Facebook. Unfortunately, I didn't touch Apple today. Baba was another name. Cisco, we took $1.10 or whatever on that trade as well, like Neil did. So you pick the right names, and you basically just get rewarded. And it's just kind of like having JPM right here. There's only 3 minutes to go. I knew this name was going to be somewhat strong on a kind of a rebound. Not as strong as those tech names, but look, it makes a bottom here of 84, 81, 82. Then when it finally breaks that 82 again, we hit the long, and we still have this for a nice little $5 winner about to come out here. But that's how we structure our trades. You got to find bottoms, and sometimes you got to sort of put a little bit of risk on the line and hold some of these things $1 or $2 against you to hopefully get, there we go, JP Morgan out. So there we go, we hit the confetti. That's a $4 winner. And again, just to talk about our trades, look, it's bounced off here, 86, 86, 86 a couple times. So we do not let it fall all the way back down. We take that out for a $4 winner. Here's 75 cents initially in a quick 10 minutes. Then you get $4 if you wait an hour. But there you go, dropping that trade off. What a nice little day wrapped up right there.
Yeah, tight little consolidation in the overall market, kind of breaking to the downside as we speak. So just be aware if you are long, we might get a little bit of a pullback right now. We're going to head to earnings, guys. We still have a couple of names reporting after market today or before the open tomorrow. I mean, these really haven't been overly exciting over the past couple of days, other than the sense that a lot of them have been pulling their forecast and guidance going forward. I mean, CrowdStrike could be interesting tomorrow.
I mean, I think it will be. I mean, it just bounced off 30, and it's trading at $42 right now. So you just got a 36% move from the bottom in the last 4 days. Going into earnings, it's up 8.5% today, looking relatively strong. I mean, you just saw the futures roll over from the high, and crowd is holding at that 42 level. This should be a good one, I think, tomorrow. I mean, look at the volatility here: 38 to 43, a $5 move bottom to top going into earnings in a market like this. Yeah, we'll be watching CrowdStrike 100% tomorrow.
Yeah, and Tiffany did have, let's check out Tiffany quickly. They had that buyout, so I don't know what's happening with them. They were going to get
It was a wild
Popeye,
swing yesterday.
Louis Vuitton. So let's just see here, LVMH, the 1 day on Tiffany. Yeah, you see we were just chilling up here at some sort of a buyout price. You can see all the way, and then now with equity and funding drying up, there it goes down to the downside. That is Tiffany's, guys.
It's going to hit the puke for that one. But look, we've got 30 seconds to go. I know it's a particular day, which is a good one. So let's throw to Valeria to see what is special about today.
Thanks, Neil. Well, guys, what a day to be a day trader. What a week to be a day trader. Thank you very much for being with us, for all your comments. And our show is very close to the end, but I remind you that we'll continue to chat and trade. I sent a link in our live chat on the YouTube. So right after this video, click on the link and let's continue chatting. So many news are coming out with the situation in the world. We need to help each other to be updated. Well, it was not really good day for me as Starbucks is closed and I really can't start my morning without caramel coffee. But now I feel a little bit better as today is the National Chocolate Caramel Day. Guys, do you like chocolate? Do you like caramel?
Is that a trick question? Do we
Brendan?
like chocolate? I don't know. Of course, everybody likes chocolate. And if
Really,
you don't like,
Brendan?
If you don't like chocolate, I don't know what to do with you. Brendan, he seems to not love things that are nice. But
I'm more excited about caramel coffee. I've never heard about caramel coffee. I feel like I'm missing
What?
out.
What?
Whoa,
wow,
hold on a second,
wow,
Brendan.
Brendan.
Hold on a second. You're not serious, are you?
So Second Cup, a Canadian company, has a brewed flavor called Caramello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. So maybe
Valeria, a big fan
There
of
was a
caramel
Second Cup
coffee.
next to our old office when
There's
Sean
one
and I
right
owned our
next
own
to
floor.
here.
And I used to be there almost every single day. They used to all have a gigantic oatmeal raisin cookie, which I would have all the time. So Brendan, you're missing out. To be honest, you got to try it, man.
We'll hook them up with some Caramello.
You got to. That's ridiculous, man. That's unacceptable.
It matches well with the vest, the Caramello. So we will definitely be trying that out. There's Brett. See, I got him to laugh again. Your boy is here. There we go. Okay, great show. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Valeria, Emma, and Rob, obviously on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
Great job today. Skeleton staff, we talked about that. Thank you so much for all of that. And guess what? We'll be back tomorrow.
Shout out to Laura Hanshy coming through from home, from TMX,
good
TMX Canada there. So it's been a fantastic
And her
one.
cat, yeah.
Make sure you join that chat for the rest of the day. We will be talking markets as we're rolling back over
What
a
up to
little
the
bit to
cat?
the downside. So keep your questions coming in the chat. We'll all be there answering them live. And for the entire team here, Liz, who's away, of course, hopefully she's there in there on the chat. Valeria, as you see on the ones and twos. Brennan Wickens at the desk, who does not know what about caramel coffee. I don't know about that, buddy. And as always, for myself, Neil Robertson, Sean Katina, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is tradertv.live. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Oh, yeah, elbow.
Rubbing elbows.
The market does not like Mr. Pence.
Thank God we done.